Inside, outside, I guess, technically, Target Field. Dick Raymer along with Bert Blyleven. And with all the buzz about this new ballpark, I don't think it's lost, but obscured a little bit of the fact that the Twins are off to their best start in the Ron Gardenhire era.
Yeah, great win for the Twins here on opening day, but prior to that, they were on the road, and they were 5-2 on the road, so total 6-2. And you can see where Ron Gardenhire, since he has been the manager of the Twins back in 2002, it's the second time that after 8 ball games he's tied for first. But what a ball club he has this year. Everybody playing very good baseball, and it all comes down to what, Dick?
Pitching.
Thank you. I'm glad you said it, because the pitching staff has been outstanding. The starters combined see a 3.4 earned run average. The relievers even better. John Roush with 5 saves so far. And here this afternoon is going to be Kevin Slowey, hopefully to continue that good quality pitching.
Well, a week ago we were in Anaheim, and for the first time in memory, the Twins weren't faced with the specter of facing John Lackey. He moved coasts from the West Coast to the East Coast.
Well, Lackey became a free agent. He signed a big 5-year contract with the Boston Red Sox. This right-hander, if he's healthy, he's one of the best in the American League. He features 4 very good pitches. A guy that you can see signed for a lot of money by the Boston Red Sox to stay healthy. Last couple of years, he was unable to do that with the Angels, starting the season on a disabled list. He's healthy this year.
The competition pretty tough for the Twins in the early part of the season. The Anaheim Angels typically in the playoffs. The Twins facing their biggest Central Division rival, the White Sox. And now the Boston Red Sox and the Twins hoping in this long homestand to make this ballpark their home. Twins baseball on Fox Sports North is brought to you by your local Northland Ford dealers. Visit your local Northland Ford dealer or go to northlandford.com. By Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. And by GMC. We are professional grade.
On Monday, Jason Kubel hit the first ever home run in Target Field. It was caught by a 13-year-old boy who made the trip up from Iowa. He traded the baseball in for an autographed game-used Joe Mauer jersey. A nice experience for that young man who called it the best day of his life. As we welcome you inside Target Field, I'm Robbie Mikowski, and there were a number of artifacts collected that are going to go on display here at Target Field from Monday's game. 10 of them to be specific, and Major League Baseball was able to pick one to go to the Hall of Fame. And here are some of the choices. The first pitch of the ball game that came out of the hand of Carl Pavano. First pitch at Denard Span. faced here at Target Field. And the baseball that Marco Scutaro got the first hit. It was a base hit. That's the one that Major League Baseball chose to go to the Hall of Fame. So that will live in Cooperstown forever. The other items will live here at Target Field, and you might be able to get a look at them should you make your way here into Target Field. The baseball that Kubel hit will be on display somewhere. They haven't yet determined that location. If you're ready for a little bit of afternoon baseball on a Wednesday, Kevin Slowey takes to the mound for the second time this season, and he looks for win number 2. Dick and Bert, first pitch next.
A rebirth of outdoor baseball in Twins territory. But what might make this such a special season is the Twins' torrid start. Off to its best beginning in the last decade, Minnesota is on a mission to make this the most memorable season to date. Game 2 from the new home of the Twins comes your way next. And through the 3 games that have been played here so far, the 2 exhibition games and the real opener the other day, weather's been threatening, but the way things have gone, we don't expect a drop of rain. Now, it may happen, and there's some rain showers headed this way, but well, so far the weather gods have aligned themselves with the baseball gods.
Well, again, Minnesota Twin fans get an opportunity, like you mentioned in the open, to play a little hooky and see outdoor baseball here, something that they have not been able to witness since 1981. And here come your Minnesota Twins.
The Menards batting order for the Boston Red Sox, with the Twins taking the field. Jacoby Ellsbury still dinged up with some bruised ribs. So Marco Scutaro, the Menards leadoff hitter, then Dustin Pedroia, Victor Martinez, Kevin Youkilis. Good numbers against the Twins. David Ortiz, Adrian Beltre, J.D. Drew, Mike Cameron, and Jeremy Hermida.
And that lineup will be facing Kevin Slowey. Slowey making his second start of the year. He worked 5 1/3 innings in that Angel game. In Game 4 for the Minnesota Twins, that's the game that they scored the most runs so far. end up beating the Angels 10-1. And Kevin Slowey's all about control. He's not a ground ball pitcher. He'll give up some fly ball outs. And he has seen no suffering at all from that wrist surgery that he had last year. So he is right on track.
Twins have played very well out in the field. Here's the Northland Ford defense for Game 2 of this series. Delman Young, Denard Span, Michael Kadire are your outfielders. Nick Punto at third. Hardy and Hudson have been regulars up the middle. Morneau at first and Maurer behind the plate. Twins enjoying their first off day of the season yesterday. And boy, what a nice way to go into your off day. What a great way to enjoy a home off day with a 6-2 mark.
Well, the Twins had a very good road trip. Of course, all the excitement that was here on Monday afternoon. The players, I talked to a lot of them, they really appreciated the off day. They had a chance to really unpack and, try to get wherever they're living kind of back together and get ready for the summer.
It wasn't just the 8 games and the 8 days, but the travel particularly tough to start the season. You had the overnight flight from Anaheim to Chicago, and the Twins still took 2 out of 3 there. And we talk about it from time to time over the course of the season, Bert, but this is the first time in reality the Twins have done it. The Twins want to win series. Tough to win a 4-game series on the road, but the Twins did that. Tough to win in Chicago. The Twins won that series, and if they can win today or tomorrow, they'll have won this series too.
Well, you know what the biggest thing, Dick, is just you want to win at home. You know, if you win on the road, if you play 500 on the road, they always say, you're going to be in the race in September because you have to win at home, and so far so good for the Twins.
Dustin Pedroia will hit second. Marco Scutaro, the leadoff hitter, then Victor Martinez. And Kevin Slowey making his first start here at Target Field. And the first pitch over for a strike. Mentioned that Kobe Ellsbury's out with some bruised ribs. He might play tomorrow, but he's a key guy for the Red Sox. Led the league in stolen bases last year with 70. And he was involved in a collision with Adrian Beltre and is a little slow to recover. And Scutaro, as he did here on opening day a couple days ago, he gets a base hit to lead off the ballgame. So Scutaro aboard, and Dustin Pedroia will hit next.
Well, like I said, control location. That ball pretty much right down the middle. And Scutaro, in his first season with Boston, gets a base hit.
Now, the other day, Scutaro was picked off by Carl Pavano, leaving first base too early. Wasn't so much a pickoff as Scutaro making a mistake. Here's Pedroia, and he takes ball 1. Pedroia, as we mentioned the other day, off to a big start in the power department. 3 home runs last year. He didn't hit his 3rd home run till his 317th at bat.
Well, they have him listed at 5'9", and if you stand next to him and you say no way, he's about 5'7". This little guy right here has some power, but he's a great player. He's only in his 5th season with the Boston Red Sox. American League Rookie of the Year back in 2007. Then the next year he won the American League MVP. A career .307 hitter coming into this year. This guy's a gamer. Really, he plays the game hard.
It's 1-1 to Pedroia. Liner to left. Delman Young has the ball go by him. And Scutaro round second, on his way to third. He'll score, and Pedroia with a double, or at least a base hit, and then the ball getting by Delman Young, and the Red Sox are quickly on the board.
Well, it'll probably be a double right there because he did not touch the ball. Delman Young was kind of caught in the middle. Do I dive for it? How do I play this ball? Ball does have some top spin on it. Delman Young comes in and then tries to slide in front of it, and it hitting the turf and then bouncing over his head. We'll see how they rule it.
Well, it has to be a hit, but there might be an error on top of that.
I think if he makes contact with the ball, then it's an error. That ball took a vicious hop over his glove, so they give him a double, an RBI double for Pedroia.
So as we saw with Carl Pavano the other day, Slowey's left some pitches up, and they've been tattooed pretty hard. It's 1-0, and now ball 1 to Victor Martinez. Martinez typically a quick starter in April, less so this year with just a .200 batting average and 1 home run and the 4 runs batted in. And and fouled over the Boston dugout. 1-1.
Well, even though where you hit in the lineup, it doesn't matter. Martinez's job right here is try to get Pedroia over to third. Martinez in his first full season with the Boston Red Sox, coming over from the Indians last year, a career .299 hitter, 3-time American League All-Star. Boston ended up trading 3 young pitchers away to get Victor Martinez last year.
Dribbled foul up the line. The presumption was once the Red Sox took care of business with Josh Beckett, contractually they did, that they would address Martinez's situation. His contract is up after this season, but to this point there hasn't been anything in the way of a public negotiating or deal making in an attempt to secure Martinez long term. 1-2. Slowey hoping to get a pop up or a strikeout here and anchor Pedroia at second base. Missing the inside corner. We've seen Slowey, when he does get strikeouts, get them on that fastball inside to a left-handed batter.
Yeah, Kevin Slowey's kind of sneaky fast. He changes speeds very well. He'll mix in a slow curveball, hard slider. He'll go up and down the ladder on certain hitters. He'll try that two-seamer that'll start inside the lefties and come back and hopefully nick the corner. Watch Joe Mauer move right here.
And missing again. Now it's 3-2.
Slowey, 25 years old, in his 4th season with the Twins. His first Major League win actually came when his mound opponent was John Lackey, and that back in June of 2007 in Anaheim.
And a ball inside. Martinez breaks his back, grounds to Hudson, and on the play Pedroia goes to third, 1 away.
Well, we see when the Twins do their job, they get high fives in the dugout, and right there Martinez is an out, but it's a productive out, moving Pedroia over to third.
And there's the fist bump as Martinez steps down into his dugout. Youkilis, the hitter, right side of the infield, looks like it's going to play in, and now the left side coming in as well. Punto playing a little bit deeper at third, and Hardy coming in just a step or two in the infield dirt. And Slowey misses ball 1.
Not a lot of history between Kevin Slowey and the Boston Red Sox organization. He's making just his 3rd start against Boston's organization. He beat them last year at the Metrodome.
2-0 to Youkilis with Ortiz on deck and a couple of bases open here. We'll see how aggressively Slowey goes after Youkilis with Ortiz slumping, hitting 5th.
Tried a slider right there, see if Youkilis maybe had the green light, or Youkilis ended up taking a pitch. Youkilis, I'm sure, on 3-0, if it's a pitch to his liking, he will be swinging.
And a belt high strike, 3-1.
Mark Wegner, the home plate umpire, saw Youkilis kind of ask Wegner, I think, wasn't that a little bit high, but on our box tracks, top of the strike zone.
And there's the walk to Youkilis, and Ortiz will come up with runners at first and third and 1 away. Lincoln Mercury key stat, and Ortiz hoping that his early season slump this year isn't as lengthy as the one last year.
Well, last year you can see in April they hit only 136 so far this year, and then last year hitting 230. So no home runs for Ortiz. And a guy right here, runners at first and third. Slowey does need a ground ball out.
And for Ortiz, he has struck out 8 times in his last 13 at bats. So absent a ground ball double play, Slowey would love to strike out Ortiz. And the first pitch fouled back. Ortiz with 11 strikeouts in 22 at bats. Hit a ball here 2 days ago to left center field that Boston people anyway felt would have been a home run anywhere else in the American League except Target Field, a ball that seemed to die in left center field. Twins don't have the exaggerated shift on in the infield, and that might be because they're looking for a double play ball.
They're looking for a ground ball right here. J.J. Hardy playing close to second base. Punto giving him the line. He's playing, between third and short. Twins do need a double play.
And Slowey again with that fastball misses the inside corner. 1-1. There's the inside corner, and it's 1-2. So now you've got a defensive hitter, and who would have thought that we would be describing Ortiz that way, but that's what they say he has found himself in now, kind of a defensive mode with 2 strikes.
Well, we see it from time to time. Players go into slumps, and David Ortiz know how he started last year. He's not starting off very well this year. So you know what? You become almost, it's in your mind rather than just letting your ability take off.
Foul back.
You almost try too much to get that base hit, to get that average, at least, in the 200s. What Ortiz would like to do is hit a fly ball deep enough where Pedroia can tag up. Of course, Kevin Slowey has been working Ortiz inner half of the plate. See if they try to sneak one on the outer half of the plate.
And time called. Of course, Ortiz lashed out at some of the Boston media after Game 2 when he went hitless, and feeling a little sensitive about the criticism he's received in the last year or so. And now Mauer to the mound, and he certainly doesn't need me to come to his defense, but in Ortiz's defense, the Red Sox faced CC Sabathia and A.J. Burnett. Those two guys can put a lot of good hitters in an 0-for-7 slump.
Well, a lot of times, you're only as good as your last at bat or your last ball game, and sometimes these writers, especially with Boston, tough place to play, they forget about all the great hits that David Ortiz have been able to produce for the Red Sox over the last 5 or 6 years.
We saw this when Slowey pitched in Anaheim against the Angels. Mauer and Slowey apparently not on the same page.
But that's a good thing that Mauer went out to talk to Slowey. What does he want to do right here? And I think what he tried to do was sneak one outer half of the plate. Mauer wanted everything inside.
2-2.
Now, you'd rather have a conversation on the mound than in between innings, and you say, this is what I wanted to do. Do it while you're out there. Communicate.
And there's the big strikeout that Slowey needed. 2 down.
They kind of went up the ladder right there, and David Ortiz, that's kind of where you want to pitch him, middle in, and then go up the ladder. And great pitching right there by Kevin Slowey, picking up a big strikeout.
So 2 down, 2 on.
And that's just going to be more frustrating for David Ortiz.
Here is one of the hottest Boston hitters, Adrian Beltre. Typically is not a quick starter. But off to a good start in his first year with the Red Sox, and Slowey delivers up high, ball 1.
Again, for some of the Twin starters, Carl Pavano mentioned it the other day, you're out there on that mound. He did get a chance to pitch off that mound in that Cardinal 2-game spring training, but this is the first time Kevin Slowey has been on this mound.
Driven to right, down the line, and foul. 1-1.
It's almost like you're on the road for the first time at a new ballpark, because Slowey, you go out there, and as a former pitcher, you want to feel, okay, do you feel on top of the hitter? How does that mound feel as far as the drop off? Right now, Kevin's a little bit up in the strike zone, so maybe the mound isn't as tilted as maybe he would like yet.
Well, what the Pavano has talked about, and some of the Cardinal pitchers that I talked to after the exhibition series, they felt very comfortable on the mound because of the backstop being close to home plate. It feels like you're closer to home plate somehow.
Right. And I know when I did a couple things on our pregame, I was standing on that same pitching mound, and It did. Without a hitter and a catcher, home plate did look close.
Some debris flying down the right field line. 1-1, and Beltre takes strike 2. So Slowey in a tough spot here, having to really pitch. He hopes his way out of a first inning jam with just the 1 run allowed.
You know, we saw him do this in his first start in Anaheim, work out of jams like this. Good job of damage control, and that's what he's trying to do right here.
One good pitch away from doing just that. And Mauer to the mound again. And
well, you can see that Slowey wants a certain pitch, and Joe Mauer's calling something else. So even though it's early in the ball game, you want to make sure that they're on the same page.
But earlier we saw Ron Gardenhire not real happy with the first trip to the mound. I was looking down on the railing, and Rick Anderson turned away and stepped down into the dugout.
Well, a catcher can only suggest.
Right.
The pitcher has the final say. It's a long ball game here for Kevin Slowey. He doesn't want to make a mistake right here. He has to go with the pitch that he feels comfortable with.
1-2. Jammed him and a little dribbler up the line. But it's the type of thing that apparently got under the skin of home plate umpire Joe West, to the point where he went public with his disgust that the Red Sox and Yankees play such long ball games. But things like that, trips to the mound, tend to slow the pace down.
Well, I mean, this is your bread and butter right here. You know, you don't want to hurry up and say, okay, I'll throw this, I'll throw that.
And Beltre asked for the appeal. That's the first time I've seen that. A hitter saying, check, I didn't go.
I don't know if he asked for the appeal, if he put his hand up like, I didn't go, I didn't go. The breaking ball right here. Watch Beltre's reaction after he holds up. No, I didn't.
Go ahead and check.
Yeah. He knows I didn't go.
2-2 to Adrian Beltre. And just off the corner, it's a full count. He's missed that corner a couple of times to left-handed batters, and now he missed one with a right-handed batter.
That's the most important pitch to any pitcher, is that fastball down and away. See what he does right here on Beltre on a 3-2 pitch.
Pitch number 29 of this first inning. And there'll be a 30th pitch.
Well, Slowey in his outing in Anaheim, he threw 5 1/3 innings. He did throw 92 pitches. Usually when Slowey's on, he'll have those innings like a Carl Pavano. He'll get, 7, 8 pitches sometimes and get 3 outs. Too many pitches here in the first.
And there'll be another one. Started with a couple of hits, and Slowey's had some long at-bats with Martinez, Youkilis. Actually, Youkilis was just 5 pitches, an all but intentional walk, and then a long battle with Ortiz, and another full count here to Beltre. Beltre, 24 at-bats, hasn't walked yet this year. A little soft line drive. Hardy snares it to end a long inning, but in terms of damage control, a good inning for Kevin Slowey. Twins got some first inning runs, a couple of them in the first. We'll see if they can score again this afternoon. The Menards batting order has Denard Span leading off. Orlando Hudson second. Joe Mauer, good numbers against John Lackey. Pretty good numbers in this ballpark, too, so far. Justin Morneau, Michael Cuddyer, Jason Kubel, Delman Young, J.J. Hardy, and Nick Punto.
And John Lackey pitching for the Boston Red Sox, making his second start. The first start outstanding, 6 shutout innings against the Yankees in a Yankees extra inning win. He got a no decision. Signed that big contract with the Red Sox over the winter. And when he is healthy, in the last couple years with the Angels, he started the season on a disabled list. He's not this year. He is very consistent.
Yeah, he sure fits nicely into the Red Sox rotation with Beckett and John Lester, who struggled so far this year, but Lester can be one of the most dominating left-handers in the league. And now in the third hole in the Boston rotation, veteran John Lackey. Here's Denard Span. And he takes up high, ball 1.
Well, Lackey likes to work quick. He'll mix in a curveball, slider, along with a good fastball and a very good changeup.
One and one. Span off to a slow start in terms of batting average, but he's drawn some walks. Still doing what the Twins asked their leadoff man to do, and that is get on base and score runs. He's got an on-base percentage of .270, which is okay with a batting average of just .161. And he scored 4 runs in 8 games.
Well, again, his first at bat always a little different than, maybe his second or third. He'll make Lackey kind of show what everybody else on the on-deck circle or in the dugout what he has. He'll take 5 or 6 pitches, and this will be the 5th pitch for Lackey as he falls behind 3-1.
And as he did on opening day, drew a leadoff walk against John Lester, set the table, eventually scored, and he'll take first base here with a leadoff walk. The Northland Ford defense for the Red Sox, they hope it's a significantly improved defense. Cameron, a former Gold Glove winner in center. Ellsbury, of course, on the bench. Beltre's won a Gold Glove. And the Twins on opening day ran on the Boston battery. And the one consistent thing through all of that is Victor Martinez, who's not known as a strong defensive catcher.
Yeah, 3 stolen bases here on Monday and 2 by Denard Span.
And Orlando Hudson takes strike 1 in the outside corner.
Hey, Ron Coomer, Span, he's probably got the green light to go.
He definitely does. We've talked about this before with the Twins. With these 2 guys up, Ron Gardner, being a National League guy, is going to want Denard to get going. And probably, as Terry Francona thinks the same thing, as a base stealer that I was not, but you'd want to get Denard Span. You'd want to get Denard Span off and running here in the first few pitches if possible to give everybody a shot at him standing at second base with nobody out. I think it's real important early in the season, Denard, to get off to a good start stealing bases. But I really feel like we talk about the Thunder in our lineup. This is one of the things that's going to make this team come October.
And they pitch out 1-1. Victor Martinez and his backup catcher Jason Varitek have thrown out 1 base stealer in 13 tries this year.
Well, first of all, going back to Ron Coomer, he didn't steal bases because he could hit the ball out of the ballpark. Yeah, if he wanted to steal bases, he could have.
Absolutely, I could have.
Sure, we know that.
1-1 to Hudson. And tickling the outside corner. It's 1-2.
Yeah, that's that curveball right there. And Lackey at 6'6" takes him a little while to get going. He won't bring that left leg or knee up to his belt. He'll try to utilize that slide step as much as possible. You see the wind blowing in the back of Lackey.
And the Span started towards second base, held up, and eventually it'll lead to a double play. Span took 1 step, slammed on the brakes, and then Hudson hit a comebacker for a double play.
Well, you want to be able to field your position, and Lackey knew that when he received this ball back to him, he knew exactly who was covering, and that was Scudero, the shortstop. Didn't take him very long to get that ball to Marco Scudero. Watch this right here. Lackey turning around, and boom, there's the throw. Scudero has plenty of time to tag second and complete the double play.
Here's Joe Mauer. You know, another thing Ron Coomer didn't do was hit second in a lineup very often, and it's not the easiest thing to do when you're in a base stealing situation and your team wants you to take some pitches so that the guy at first might get an opportunity to steal second. And in Hudson's case, he took 3 pitches and found himself behind in the count 1-2.
And now you're having to swing at a pitcher,
right.
That, you know, a pitch that Lackey wants you to swing at.
2 strikes to Mauer with the bases empty and 2 gone.
Mauer 9 for 20 lifetime against Lackey with a couple home runs. Lackey's going inside where Martinez was sitting up high.
That's the type of swing that we've seen from Mauer in the past with the count 2-0. And here it looked like he was ready to give it a good rip, try to jerk the ball out of here on 0-2. Pretty aggressive swing.
Well, a lot of hitters are not afraid to hit 2-0. You see Martinez, that's where they wanted to pitch, and Joe fouled it straight back into the mask of home plate umpire Mark Wagner.
Another 0-2. And a bouncer to the left side. Scudero backhands it and throws on target to Euclid. The leadoff walk, but Lackey faces just 3 men in the inning.
Got a little bit more food. I got a beef burrito right here. I got some nachos grande. Make sure you visit this place down the right field line on the main concourse. It's named after former Twins pitcher Juan Berenguer. Dick and Bert, I think I'm good for gaining a pound a day every time we have a home game here at Target Field, right?
I think when you order something from Senior Smoke's place, you get a briefcase too.
Back in there, down the right field line, as Robbie says, and boy, if that's true, he's going to gain a pound a day. It's going to be a tough week and a half long homestand for Robbie and Smokowski. But the food here, the reports have been the food here is just outstanding and quite tempting. So here's J.D. Drews to lead off the second inning, and Kevin Slowey, who delivered 31 pitches in the first inning, hoping for a much quicker second. Ball 1. Twins linking the gate entrances, the concession stands, and a good part of this new ballpark paying tribute to its glorious past with Senior Smoke, a key guy in the '87 World Championship team. The gates, you can come in through the Carew, gate 29.
I tell you what, Juan Berenguer, I mean, he's a guy that wanted to start every day, but he was best in that setup role to Jeff Reardon. I mean, he did make a start during the season. He was a guy that would come into the bullpen and do exactly that, get some big strikeouts and show off a little bit that he did get that strikeout.
Yeah, he really did. Whatever Tom Kelly asked him to do in terms of pitching. Berenguer made 6 starts, 41 relief appearances, and was at his best in the playoffs. Well, a leadoff single in the first led to a run, and now a rare walk issued by Slowey to start the second inning.
Now, Slowey always around the plate. Now, as a start against the Angels, he did walk a couple. And here already, with nobody out here in the second inning, already has 2 walks.
Mike Cameron, the hitter. Cameron signed as a free agent. Ellsbury had been playing center, and when he's healthy, he'll play left. Foul back to the screen, 1 strike.
Well, one thing Boston did do over the winter, they wanted to add some speed. They wanted to improve their defense. Mike Cameron, we see John Lackey here, Marco Scudero, Adrian Beltre, and also Bill Hall, new additions to the Boston Red Sox this year, who were 8 games behind the Yankees last year.
One strike. And strike 2. I've always felt, and I think you've agreed too, that Cameron has always been a Torrey Hunter type player. A couple of years older and several $1 million poorer, but that type of guy who keeps himself in great shape, a great athlete in center field.
Yeah, this guy's 37 years old. I saw him earlier before the ball game, and he had some shorts on him. My God, the guy's nothing but muscle.
That rolls away from Mauer. Drew will advance on a pitch in the dirt. And Joe typically blocks. That one just rolled away far enough for Drew to go from first to second.
Well, should be a wild pitch on Kevin Slowey with that breaking ball down and away. Take a look at the pitch right here. Joe trying to get in front of it, and the ball just scoots behind him, and Drew alertly gets it in scoring position.
So we'll see if Cameron with 2 strikes can advance the runner here, and they come inside and get a swinging strike 3. A foul tip, and Mauer hangs on. And Drew still at second base.
Well, good strikeout right there for Slowey. Got David Ortiz in the first inning right here going inside, and Cameron just swinging through that ball. Slowey picking up his second strikeout.
Here's Hermida, who's already played now in 5 games for the Red Sox because of first J.D. Drew and his neck injury, and now Ellsbury out with some ribs. He's feeling every time he breathes. 1 strike.
Hermida in his first year with the Boston Red Sox, traded over in November for a couple young pitchers. Coming from the Florida Marlin organization, where he played 5 years, a .265 hitter.
Grounder right side. Hudson has it. 2 down, and on the play, Drew goes to third. And that'll bring up Marco Scudero, who's so far scored the only run of the game. As we said the other day, the Red Sox have had a revolving door at short, much like the Twins have had a revolving door at third base. They've run a lot of really good players through there, including Orlando Cabrera over the last handful of years. Cabrera, of course, finished the season last year with the Twins. And Scudero, a utility player and played a number of different positions for Oakland. Had a career year last year with the Blue Jays, and that set him up for a nice contract from the Red Sox. 1 strike. Slowey trying to pitch around the leadoff walk. 1-1.
For Kevin Slowey, his 56th major league start, his 58th appearance at the major league level. 27 wins, only 15 losses in his young career. Again, 10-3 last year before that wrist gave him problems.
He comes back and clips the inside corner. 1-2. See, the lights have been turned on here since the game started, with the skies darkening. See the reflection of the lights on the helmet. And line foul. I
love to watch Joe Mauer move either in or out with a guy like Kevin Slowey. You know, on the pitching staff, the starters, you have Pavano, excellent control. Baker, excellent control. Blackburn, excellent control. And Kevin Slowey. The only day might be tomorrow where Maurer might sit inside and the ball might be away with Francisco Liriano. Other than that, when Joe usually moves in or out, that ball's going to be in that area. Just like that, and it just misses.
That might be true for the Boston starter tomorrow, too. Tim Wakefield. The knuckleball might be darting all over the place tomorrow.
I think if Martinez or Varitek catch, he'll be sitting right down the middle. And then with that big old fly glove they have, the butterfly glove.
2-2 to Scutaro. That's to right center field and down for a hit. And the Red Sox get another run, and Slowey pays for the leadoff walk.
Well, he got in on Scutaro right there, but he fought it off. Scutaro gets his second hit, his second RBI of the year, as he flares that ball into right center field. He was able to get out of damage control in the first inning. And Scutaro just dropping the barrel of the bat, finds that gap. Span gets it back in, and Boston takes a 2-0 lead.
And the dangerous Pedroia at the plate hit the sinking line drive in front of and then behind Delman Young and left. Up the middle, Hardy to his left. Gets it to Hudson. He got a foot on the bag, and the inning ends. Leadoff walk and a run for the Red Sox. They lead it 2-0. Minnesota.com. Plan your next Minnesota vacation today. The waves and rugged shoreline of the North Shore of Lake Superior. Of course, Highway 61, one of the beautiful drives in the state of Minnesota. 150 miles from Duluth to the Canadian border. Over 27 streams and rivers. A new paved trail called the Gitchigami State Trail gives cyclists a safe pathway to explore the scenic route. And Gordon Lightfoot called it the Gitchigumi, the Lake Superior. And the wreck of the Edmonds Fitzgerald. So my apologies if I mispronounced it. Here is Justin Morneau, then Michael Kadire and Jason Kubel facing John Lackey, who now has a 2-0 lead. And Lackey, who walked in Art Span to start the ball game, falls behind Morneau 2-0. Were you surprised that the Angels weren't more aggressive in re-signing their former ace?
Yeah, it really was. You know, maybe the injuries over the last couple of years kind of scared them from a long-term contract.
2-1.
He had started the season on a disabled list both times with some arm problems, but you know, an 11-game winner last year, a couple of years ago, a 12-game winner. His best season came 3 years ago when he was a 19-game winner for the Angels.
Now he evens the count, 2-2.
Well, Lackey, when he is healthy, very consistent. 102 major league wins, only 71 major league losses. So Terry Francona right there in his 7th season as manager of the Boston Red Sox.
just missed, and he fills the count to Morneau. Golf to right, and the first hit. And Morneau's aboard with a sharp single to right. And that'll bring up Michael Kadire.
You see where that pitch was down to Justin. He just kind of golfed that ball for the Twins' first hit. Kadire, very good success against John Lackey, 5 for 16 with 3 home runs.
Martinez digs a low pitch out, ball 1. And that's bounded foul behind Scotty Alger. 1-1. You know what I'm enjoying? There's a lot of things about the new ballpark. I'm enjoying watching airplanes fly overhead.
You know what? I want to thank the Twins for giving us this booth. This is an outstanding view that we have, and you know, I get to see. We're right here by the legends, and we get to see a lot of players that in the fantasy camp come by and say hello.
Short center field, and Pedroia with a very nice over-the-shoulder catch. Kadire breaks a bat, and Pedroia scampered out into short center for a fine catch.
Yeah, nice catch right there by Pedroia because of the wind situation here. Kadire gets jammed a little bit. There goes Pedroia out, keeps his eye on the ball, and he's the only one that could have been able to catch this ball. And it makes a very nice behind-the-shoulder catch.
We have got a wonderful view here. This beautiful ballpark. We can see pop-ups.
You can see airplanes.
Fresh air seems to be blowing into this booth regularly, and at least I'm quite thankful for that. Here's Kubel. Kubel, a natural choice to be in the DH spot. He hit the first home run in this ballpark a couple of days ago, and then too, Jim Thome in his career against Lackey is 0 for 18. 1-0. Kubel pretty proud of the fact that he will go down in history. Beyond trivia, he'll go down in history as the guy who hit the first home run in this ballpark. First one that mattered. That's grounded to first. Step on second, and now Morneau is tagged out, and Lackey has gotten a couple of ground ball double plays in his first 2 innings. Let us know who you think will be the Arby's value player of the game today. Text the word value followed by a space in the player's name to short code 234234. So far, Joe Mauer with 40% of the voting. And keep voting. We'll have the results in the Twins postgame show. Difference in the game, the Red Sox have gotten their leadoff man on twice and scored both times. The Twins have had their leadoff man on twice, and a double play is taking care of the base runner. Here's Victor Martinez to start the third.
Well, this pitch already will be pitch number 50 for Kevin Slowey. Slowey needs a quick inning to get deep into the ballgame, hopefully, for the Twins.
And he delivers strike one to Victor Martinez. What should help Martinez come free agent time, if in fact it gets that far, is the Yankees are going to be in the need of a catcher about the same time the Red Sox will need one. In other words, he's got 1 year left, and the Red Sox can negotiate him with him exclusively until the season ends. And then if they don't take care of business, you can imagine the Yankees trying to jump in and make Martinez a very rich man now that Joe Mauer is off the market. 2 strikes. Boston's catcher. And it's in the dirt. 1-2. Martinez, Youkilis, and Ortiz. Bouncer towards second. Hudson from the outfield grass throws Martinez out. 1 away. Second time that Martinez has bounced out to Hudson. And Youkilis will come to the plate. Twins baseball is brought to you in Sony High Definition. So a better start to the third inning for Slowey, and now he'll go after Youkilis. Don't know whether he really went after Youkilis in that first inning at bat.
No, I mean, he did throw him 1 strike, but, in that situation with Ortiz up, once you fall behind on a good hitter like Youkilis, with a runner at third and 1 out, you'd say, okay, I still don't want to give him anything hit. If I walk him, maybe I can get a double play ball off the bat of Ortiz. Instead, he got a strikeout and still able to work out of that inning.
One and one. Drilled foul. And it's 1-2.
Youkilis, a very, very good hitter. 2-time All-Star for the Boston Red Sox. Career .292 hitter. This is his 7th season with the Red Sox. Unusual get ready to swing stance. That hand up the barrel of the bat. A lot of bouncing. Calls time.
And Youkilis called out on strikes, drops his bat, picks it up, and heads back to the Boston dugout. 2 down.
Well, Slowey picking up his 3rd strikeout, going inside on Youkilis and getting him.
Full week of baseball ahead with a series against the Royals and Cleveland Indians, and tickets are available in the U.S. Bank Home Run Porch. Great seats in left field beginning at $22. The U.S. Bank Home Run Porch tickets can be purchased at twinsbaseball.com or call 800-33-TWINS. Ball 1 to David Ortiz.
Let's take a look at that last pitch to Youkilis on our Fox tracks. See, again, Mauer sitting inside, and that ball was inside, but Mark Wagner, you don't know what he's going to give you. And that's the challenge, too, of being a pitcher out there. Will that umpire give me more inside, or will he give me more away? And I think what we've seen from Mark Wagner, who sits on the right shoulder of Joe Mauer, the inner half of the plate, on David Ortiz, he's looking right at that corner on the inner half of the plate.
Now, Slowey falls behind Ortiz. It's 3-0. This is not a guy you want to walk right now. Rain coming down. This is going to be an interesting afternoon here. There's ball 4, and Ortiz draws a 4-pitch walk with 2 out.
Third walk for Kevin Slowey in the ballgame.
1 each in the 3 innings. Say it's interesting because there's a little band of precipitation that's working its way from the southwest to the northeast. And then after that, for the rest of the homestand, there doesn't look to be any chance of rain at all. So if we can survive this rain and continue to play baseball, we should have clear sailing for the rest of the homestand. And there's strike 1 to Beltre. Foul back, 2 strikes with Beltre going down to a knee.
We haven't seen this in '81 where the fans have to put up some umbrellas. They have to put their jackets on. Some of them scoot up to the, the concourse areas. But what's nice about this stadium, you can scoot up to the concourse area, but you can still see the ball game.
Right. The Twins allow umbrellas here. They just don't want the big golf umbrellas. They're going to block the view of people sitting behind you or adjacent to you. Very high, and it's 1-2. Talking with Larry DeVito, the groundskeeper, about the field and how it drains whatever precipitation falls. It drains so quickly, and he says that's state of the art in most ballparks now, where whatever rain falls. There goes Ortiz. Goodness gracious, he's tagged on the helmet for an out. Well, I almost saw something I never thought I'd ever see. David Ortiz stealing a base.
Head to the bottom of the 3rd. I'm Robbie and Smikowski. I'm hanging out here in foul territory in left field, and we've seen our first rainfall here at Target Field. And a lot of fans have covered up, put their raincoats on, got under umbrellas, and are bunching up. But most of them have made their way into the main concourse here. We have these drink rails right here all the way around the ballpark. They're lined up about, I'd say, 6 or 7 deep at this point in time. And during the commercial break, a couple fans in front of me looked up and were like, "We're not going anywhere. We're going to take in the rain. We've never had this before the rest of our lives." And a couple people under here said, well, there's smart and then there's not so smart. That might fall under both.
Delman Young with a couple of fouls. Thank you, Robbie. 2 strikes.
Bases at the major league level been only 5 times. So, the big man just trying to get in the scoring position. And a great throw by Joe Mauer getting him.
And Young slaps one down the line. How many bases? He'll have 2. And Delmon Young with a leadoff double.
Well, we all know Delmon Young goes up to every at-bat ready to swing the bat. And watch this pitch right here. Not a bad pitch down in the strike zone. Delmon just hitting it the other way. Youkilis, the first baseman, playing off the line. The ball hit between him and that right field line. So Delmon Young picking up his first double of the year. Gets in a scoring position with nobody out.
Here's J.J. Hardy. Third inning in a row now where the Twins have gotten their leadoff man on, and we'll see if the Twins can get one back here in the third, down by a couple of runs.
You know, one thing what we saw in spring training, we televised, I think, 3 games, and J.J. Hardy, we saw him a couple times in this situation do a good job of getting that runner over, something that he worked on in spring training.
That ball hit Young on the right shoulder, I think, and Scutaro tried to reach out and get the throw, but Lackey turned and fired right into the right shoulder of Delmon Young.
About the only place a pitcher can really go out and hit somebody without getting penalized. I did that a lot too.
Hardy takes at the knees a strike, 1-1. Anybody ever charge the mound from second base?
No. Hopefully I got him good enough. He didn't. Watch Delmon right there sliding straight back, and the ball going right into Delmon.
High hopper over the mound off the glove of the pitcher, and Scutaro scoops and fires, retiring Hardy, and Delmon Young goes to third.
Well, a good at bat right there for a Hardy, but a nice play by Scutaro. Looked like Lackey maybe got it right off the tip of his glove. It may have slowed it down a little bit, but Scutaro cutting in front of Pedroia to get the out at first. Lackey again at 6'6". Watch Scutaro right here cut in front of Pedroia to make the out at first. And on the play, Young goes to third.
Punto at the plate. Middle infielders playing back. Corner infielders even with their bases. And Punto slashes one foul. Trying to get one back here, and the Red Sox are willing to give up a run with the number 9 hitter at the plate. If Punto can hit a ground ball to second or short. Punto with 1 run batted in on the season. Little pop fly, and won't get the job done. Scutaro with the catch, out number 2. And that'll bring up Span. Span drew a walk and was doubled off in the first inning, and now Twins will need a 2-out hit, very likely, to get a run. The Red Sox got a 2-out hit from their leadoff batter to score their second run. We'll see if Span can deliver here against Lackey. And the rain coming down pretty hard right now. Span makes an off-speed pitch over for a strike. Once the game starts, just to refresh everybody's memory, Span checks his swing. Martinez with a nice block, 1-1. It's the home team's discretion as to whether to start a game or not. And once they do, once the lineup cards are exchanged at home plate, then it becomes the responsibility of the umpire to suspend play. One and one. 2-1. And Lackey looked like he was looking at his fingertips, like that ball might have slipped a little bit.
A little slippage right there.
So it's the crew chief's responsibility here to stop play if he deems it necessary, and the crew chief is standing up the first baseline, Tim Cheetah, 3-1. And I would imagine Cheetah's probably looking at Lackey and his a reaction after he delivers a pitch, and if he's repeatedly looking like the ball slipping out of his hand, that will come into the decision-making process, I would imagine.
Well, I think the biggest thing, Dick, is he's going to watch, Lackey on that mound. Is that mound going to get wet? As far as the ball is hid, so there's no reason that he just let a couple balls go, not because of being wet.
And now a walk puts Span aboard, and Hudson coming to the plate.
Second time Span has drawn a walk, and a second walk for Lackey.
So first and third, 2 away, and Hudson coming to the plate, still looking for his first run batted in.
John Farrell, the pitching coach for the Boston Red Sox, coming out. A quick trip to the mound.
Again, this is a thin band of showers that's supposed to work its way through, whether it causes an interruption or not. Once it stops raining, we should have clear sailing for the rest of the homestand.
Lightened up a little bit.
Yep. And Martinez now will give signs in front of home plate in the event Span takes off. An interesting concept here, because if Span can steal a base, the tying run would move into scoring position. Down low, ball 1. Hudson drove in 62 runs last year for the Dodgers. Trying to get a big hit here with 2 outs in the third. 1-1. And that's what you'll get from Hudson, or right around 60 runs batted in. Of course, he typically hits up in the top of the order, usually in the second spot, where you don't expect somebody to drive in 90 or 100 runs. But he gets his first knock here to drive in a run. Span around third, around second on his way to third, and a big 2-out hit for Orlando Hudson, and the Twins are on the board.
Well, the first RBI in a Twins uniform for Orlando Hudson. A breaking ball left up, and he hit it right back up the middle. Well, Delman Young does make it a 2-1 ball game. See the breaking ball, good extension by Hudson, getting the barrel of the bat out and lining it in the center. And Span, good hustle, goes from first to third.
And now Mauer at the plate with the tying run 90 feet away. Mauer with a bouncer to short his first time up. Up the middle. Knocked down. But a base hit for Mauer. Span comes in, and we're tied at 2. Scudero got a glove on it, and that's all he could do.
Well, it looked like Joe Mauer was trying to hit the second base bag again, like he did here on Monday. Good effort right there by Scudero. But now we're picking up an RBI, his 7th of the year. Right back up the middle here on Monday. That ball hit the bag, and Mauer ended up getting an RBI infield base hit. Right here, Scudero. Don't know if he would have been able to get a play, probably just a flip, maybe to Pedroia at second base, but the ball getting away from him.
Here is Morneau, runners at first and second. A walk and a pair of 2-out singles have the Twins even with the Red Sox, and there's ball 1. Ron Coomer, we were walking into the Boston dugout together, and you had a chance to ask Dustin Pedroia about the infield here at Target Field, how slow the grass was, and he said something that related it to the thick grass at Fenway Park.
Yeah, he said at Fenway it's up to about his ankles, but he really liked the infield that's been put in here. The infield dirt is very good. The grass, although it's a little on the slower side compared to the turf we're accustomed to, the infield is playing really true, and right now really wet.
Yeah, it's going to skip.
But it's nice to say we're getting wet down here in the camera well, as opposed to having a baggie over our head.
Where's your umbrella, young man?
1-1 to Morneau, and down and away 2-1. But again, it's something we haven't had to deal with. Here's some slow grass to start with, according to Pedroia, not as slow as Fenway, and then You get a little rain shower on that, and it slows it up even more.
Somebody get him an umbrella. We have 3 umbrellas up here, just to let you know, Ron Coomer.
And a roof over our head here.
Bert, can you bring me one down, please, in between innings?
I'll be right there. I'll be right there. Wait for me.
2-2. DeMorno. Hooked a single into right field his first time up.
On a breaking ball down. Now Lackey wanting Martinez to go through a new set of signs.
And a foul.
Well, the first 2 runs Lackey has allowed this year again came into this ball game pitching 6 shutout innings against the Yankees in his Boston debut in Fenway Park. Boston ended up losing that ball game 3-1 in extra innings.
High fly to center field. And Cameron goes back, still back, makes the catch on the warning track. That ball carried significantly farther than Cameron thought when it left home plate. And the Twins leave a couple of men on, but score 2 to tie the game at 2. Hit in this ballpark, a key one in the 3rd inning.
Yeah, RBI single for Joe Mauer. That made it a 2-2 ball game span. Couple walks he scored last inning. And Scudero so far a couple hits. Mike Cameron, very nice catch right here. That ball kept drifting on him. Ended up making a nice catch over the shoulder on the warning track, straightaway center.
You know, the wind's coming in pretty hard, or at least it has been for most of this game from right field. But again, very often that's deceiving because the wind will swirl around and you might actually get, what do we call them, channels? Mm-hmm. And it almost looked as if that's what happened that time. Morneau hit the ball pretty hard, but Cameron froze for a minute and then realized, hey, wait a minute, that ball's going to go over my head.
Well, again, you know, this is still a new adventure for both teams.
Right.
You know, what will the wind do?
Here's Adrian Beltre, and he takes ball 1. During the inning break, the grounds crew tending to the field, and Larry DeVito and the crew have done a great job. Here's a pop-up to right field. Kadair over for the catch, 1 away. First weekend series in Target Field history begins Friday night when the Royals come to town. Tickets are available for all 3 games and the first 20,000 fans to each contest will get a 2010 poster schedule courtesy of the Star Tribune. Tickets for next weekend's game against the Royals are available at twinsbaseball.com or call 800-33-TWINS. 1 gone. That'll bring up J.D. Drew. Royals trying to help out the Twins by beating the Tigers. They're leading 3-1 in the 5th inning, but the Royal bullpen has been incendiary so far this year.
That's been a problem for them over the last decade.
Indians struggling with their bullpen too. He's one of the best in the business, and he's got his a challenge here with the rain coming down and keeping this field prepared to play. Over the outside corner, a strike.
Might get our first look at some diamond dust here that we haven't seen since '81.
And a called third strike, and Drew doesn't agree with Mark Wagner's strike zone. 2 down.
Slowey picking up his 4th strikeout. He threw him a slow breaking ball, and then he kind of threw it a little bit harder right here. Watch Slowey's pitch. Mauer sitting outside, and he hit the glove.
Again, to your point, he's sitting over the inside corner, and umpires very often will give more room on the outside.
I've seen Wagner give both sides of the plate so far, inside and outside, so I love this guy. Nothing wrong with a good umpire that just gives you, that 17-inch plate becomes a 23-inch plate, and that's your goal as a pitcher, actually, Dick, because if you can hit the spot of that glove and that catcher sits outside, you hit the glove. I mean, Greg Maddux made a living out of it. He won over 300 ball games that way.
2 down. Cameron with a foul for strike 1.
You see right there, sitting inside. Where was the pitch? Inner half of the plate.
Now, they're not supposed to do it, but it's natural for a fan like me to wonder whether umpires might not expand the strike zone when weather is an issue.
No, I don't think so. I mean, they're going to call their game. Umpires, again, you can have all the box tracks you want, but every umpire has their own way to call a ball game. They may try to control them and say, this is the way it's supposed to be, from the knees to the letters, and that 17-inch plate. Sometimes, if you're a good pitcher, you will make that plate grow as the game goes on.
1-2 to Cameron.
From left to right.
Fouled straight back. The rain continues to fall here at a pretty steady pace. Lackey had a 2-run lead. Slipped through his fingers in the 3rd. Slowly trying to have his first 1-2-3 inning. And he gets a couple of strikeouts and has a 1-2-3 4th inning. North is brought to you by Grand Casino Mille Lacs and Grand Casino Hinckley. By Lincoln Mercury. Visit your local Lincoln Mercury dealer or go to experiencelm.com. And by AT&T, a better 3G experience. Well, the grounds crew we've been speaking of down by the tarp, but not behind it. They're ready to go should Tim Cheetah blow his whistle on this game.
Yeah, between innings, first base umpire Tim Cheetah went over to the pitcher's mound to make sure that the footing was okay for the starting pitcher, that being John Lackey. That area right out in front, usually, where you land, that's the area that is probably the area that you'll feel it more as a pitcher, because you could slip right there, maybe pull a groin muscle. Not as much on the pitching rubber itself, it's where you land for Lackey, that left foot.
Kadire, Kubel, and Young to hit here in the fourth, and it's almost as if Cheetah went to the veteran pitcher and asked him for advice and how things went. There's a little pop-up wide of first. Youkilis by the Twins dugout makes the catch, one away. And Kubel will come to the plate. AT&T trivia question: who are the 5 active players with 250 or more home runs and stolen bases? Now again, one of the
well, it wasn't John Lackey, so we'll probably have to go.
And we already determined it wasn't David Ortiz either. He only has what 10 stolen bases. Here's Kubel. So we'll let you ponder that for a while. One strike to Kubel. And now a ball. Did you find that over the years, that as you became a veteran pitcher, did an umpire ever come up and consult you about what the condition of the mound was in a situation like this?
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, that's really the only area. And he'll ask you infielders too. Is there an area that you would like that diamond dust or time to be called just to fix that area?
Right. I remember when the Twins traded Rick Aguilera to the Red Sox. One of the times they traded Aguilera, and he was in the playoffs, and he may have lost a game in the playoffs because the footing on the mound wasn't very good, and just kind of pitches. Of course, Rick was a good control pitcher, but his pitches were flying all over the place, and he was leaving pitches up, and it may have cost the Red Sox a playoff game.
Well, just where you land again. You have spikes on underneath those shoes of John Lackey, and sometimes if it gets wet right in that landing area, you can slip a little bit. You just want your footing to be solid.
3-2. And Lackey uncharacteristically struggling with his control a little bit. He's walked Span twice. Now he's in danger of walking Kubel. Lifted foul and out of play. Submit a question to us online at carsoup.com/baseball. Sharon Jorgensen from Cambridge, just north of the Twin Cities, about 45 minutes, who hit the first home run for the Twins at the old Met. We know Kubel did here. We know Dave Engel did at the Metrodome. And Kubel draws a walk with one out here in the fourth.
And that's a third walk for John Lackey without a strikeout.
And Delvin Young will come to the plate. The answer is Dale Long hit the first home run at Metropolitan Stadium on April 21st, 1961. The last home run hit was Clint Hurdle. Did it for the Royals on September 30th, 1981. Young doubled down the right field line, leading off the third. Came in to score on an Orlando Hudson hit. 1-0. Long, if I remember my trivia correctly, he and Don Mattingly hold the record for homering in 8 straight games. So Long accustomed to hitting home runs, and he hit the first one at the old Met. Inside to Young, got a foul ball, 1-2.
I think if the footing was bad, John Lackey would have told Tim Cheetah something. You see the mud building up underneath the spikes, but where he does land, you can see he's not slipping at all.
And Lackey right now clearing his cleats with the rubber mat behind the mound, with the rubber spike sticking up, tongue depressor there to help keep his footing secure. 1-2, one away. Kubel at first. Twins trying to take their first lead of the day. Ground ball, left field, base hit. Kubel to second.
Well, Delmon Young having 2 good at-bats, a double in his first at-bat and scored in the 3rd inning right there. It's a pitch to his liking and finds that gap between 3rd and short. Breaking ball. Delmon getting a barrel out of that out quickly and hitting it into left field.
Delmon Young slipped a little bit on the top of the base. First and second, one away. Here's J.J. Hardy. And there is ball 1. Now everything changes when you're outside as opposed to inside, and Scotty Elter hasn't been inside exclusively, but now let's imagine J.J. Hardy gets a hit like the one Delmon Young just got, and the left fielder Hermida has to pick up a wet baseball. That may be one of the factors he uses in sending the runner or not.
No, there's so many elements that come into play. How hard was the ball hit? Does Hermida, say example, if he does he have to go to his right? Does he have to go to his left to get that ball?
1-1 to Hardy. To center. And hit it Cameron for out number 2. That'll bring up Punto. And somewhat checked. And I was right. Dale Long, Don Mattingly, and Ken Griffey Jr. have all homered in 8 straight games. And Mattingly and Griffey extended their streaks, partly at least, at the expense of the Twins. That's why I remember that. Here's Punto, a chance to get a 2-out hit. He could not get a 1-out hit. Couldn't get the runner in from third with 1 out. So Punto will hope to rebound from that and come up with a big hit here and put the Twins back in front. Punto came up with Young at third and 1 out. And the middle infield playing back, conceding a run on a ground ball, and instead Punto hit a pop-up, fielded on the grass in left field by Scutaro.
You see Victor Martinez going out to talk to John Lackey about how they're going to approach Nick Punto. I got a call right here. I got a feel Nick Punto's going to get a base hit.
Up and away, ball 1. Early, Slowey didn't look very sharp, and now throughout, Lackey hasn't looked as sharp as we've seen him, falling behind hitters, and the walks uncharacteristic for Lackey too. Fly ball to left, and Hermida drifts back to end the inning.
Too much air time.
A threat, but a couple men left aboard. We're still tied at 2.
We are tied at 2 as the rain is coming down, but I have found my way past the camera wall where I was hiding, and I found Jim and Anna from Chaplin. They are today's Minnesota State Lottery winners, and Bert, you could use that circle machine, and they've got $100 in Minnesota State Lottery tickets as their prize. When you look at this, they're celebrating their 29th wedding anniversary, and Bert, you'll get a kick out of this. They've had this sign for each of the last 5 years, and this is the first time they have been able to be circled by you. So how about that? They tried it on their 25th anniversary, then tried on 26, 7, and 8. And it's their lucky day today, the first day the rain falls, and they get circled by Bert. How about that?
Oh, good number, Rod Carew right there. And congratulations on their 29th anniversary, and you are hereby circled.
And Blackie getting his spikes cleaned off between innings. Kevin Slowey doing it out on the mound. And we've got a tie game with Jeremy Hermida getting set to lead off the 5th inning. Slowey's had a much better time of it so far, second time through the Boston batting order than the first.
And we'd like to say give our best wishes to Rock Hanisch. He's suffering from a brain tumor. Got this from Patrick Klinger. He's a huge Twins fan. Rock, good luck, man.
Strike one to Hermida, who bounced out facing Slowey in the 2nd inning. And Slowey hits the corner. If anything, as the rain has come down, Slowey's control seems to be better.
Well, I think, at the beginning of a ball game, every starter, you're pumped up for that one start every 5th or 6th day. And, sometimes you're overexcited. What Slowey can do, he can adjust. And I think we've seen him adjust from the first couple innings to now kind of realizing what he has going today and trying to use that, hopefully, to get deeper into the ball game. Very good inning. In the 4th inning, needed only 11 pitches to get out of that 1-2-3 inning.
2-2.
Slowey with 3 walks in the ball game, 5 strikeouts.
Foul back. Rain coming down pretty good again. It's been raining slowly, moderately, and pretty hard as it is right now. That's the roof of the Twins dugout. Another 2-2 from Slowey to Jeremy Hermida. And that's lifted back into the seats. Well, coincidentally or not, since Slowey has gotten into this rhythm, we have seen less of Mauer going to the mound. So I'm not sure which comes first, the chicken or the egg here, but the pace of the game seems to be improving as Slowey is improving.
Well, we saw Joe Mauer talk to Slowey out on the field. I'm sure they did a lot of talking in the dugout too.
Trying to get on the same page. Another 2-2 pitch coming to Hermida. And a liner that slices its way to Hardy. One away. Pretty well hit ball. Good at bat for Hermida, but the first out. Our AT&T trivia question: who are the 5 active players with 250 or more home runs and stolen bases? We gave you Cameron, Alex Rodriguez, of course, and Bobby Abreu, who the Twins just saw in the Angel series. And for those of you who aren't aware, whenever we have a trivia question with a multiple answer, all we have to do is get one to be considered having given a correct answer. And we're all on a team. If the truck gives us an answer like they did visually showing Cameron, then
all we have to do is say it.
We'll give them partial credit. Here's a fly ball to right center field. Kadire, Span, and they both wanted it. Kadire caught it, out number 2.
Well, the center fielder has the right whether he should take that ball or not. A little miscommunication. Both of them yelling for it at the same time. And that ball actually looked like it came slicing back toward Kadire. Kadire being the bigger person right there. You can see Span, and it's a Kadire. Span kind of pulled away at the last second, and Kadire made the catch.
You're bigger than I am. You've been around here longer. I'll let you have that. Here's Pedroia. Ball one. You know, watching the AccuWeather radar, it looks like the rain is about half over. That's
slows this game.
That's me talk. Right. That's me talking. I don't have my AMS seal. 2-0 to Pedroia. They haven't stopped play, obviously, nor have they even put any diamond dust on the field at all. That's hit a long way to left. And gone. Pedroia hits his 4th home run of the year and puts the Red Sox back in front.
Oh, that back ball coming back into play as a fan throws it back toward the infield, but Pedroia giving the Boston Red Sox a 3-2 lead. He jumped all over this fastball middle in. It's a line drive home run for Pedroia, his 2nd hit of the ball game and his 2nd RBI.
12 hits on the season, 7 extra base hits. He's got 3 doubles, 2 of them in this series, and now his 4th home run. Here's Victor Martinez, a couple of ground balls to Hudson. And Slowey with an off-speed pitch, bends one over, a strike.
Most home runs Pedroia's hit in one season, 17 a couple years ago. He hit 15 last year. Off to a very good start.
And Martinez slaps a base hit to left field. And a slow trot to first for Martinez. He's aboard with his first hit. And that'll bring up Youkilis. Youkilis has not put a ball in play today. He walked in the first, an all but intentional walk by Slowey. And then Slowey struck him out in the 3rd. And Youkilis checking with home plate umpire Mark Wagner about something that happened out on the mound. I wonder if it wasn't Slowey going to his mouth. I didn't see it, but Youkilis wanted some sort of a clarification about something that happened out on the mound. Of course, pitchers now can lick their fingers as long as they brush them off on the mound. Strike 1.
From the Budweiser roof deck. Still a home run, no matter where you are in this stadium.
Let's just say that our viewers should be very happy that I'm not the one running the camera on the Budweiser roof deck, because if I'd have tilted the camera down, okay, we don't have a cameraman hanging over the railing. I was going to say,
probably a smart thing.
If it was me hanging a camera over, when I'd have tilted the camera down, it would have been more than rain falling down to the field.
I was kind of hoping that would be Ed Harris up there.
Yeah.
Ed's right above us.
There's the robotic camera looking down the foul pole.
How about that on opening day, Mike Cameron finding that little gap. There's Ed, well tucked away, just above us.
Tethered to the fence or to the railing above us.
I think he's strapped in, isn't he?
2-1 the count. Slowey is really regularly getting behind the pitching rubber and trying to get his spikes cleaned off. Red Sox have retaken the lead on the Pedroia home run. It came with 2 outs in the inning, and then Martinez delivered a 2-out hit. Long look in, and now Slowey's ready with a 2-1 pitch. 3-1. It was Youkilis being called out on strikes, and in disbelief heading back to the Boston dugout. That was a pretty close pitch taken for ball 3.
Well, you see Kevin Slowey again going back and trying to get that mud out of the spikes. One thing I tried to do on days like this, sometimes I'd go in and change spikes to newer spikes only because they're a little bit higher.
Hadn't been worn down yet.
Right. Because you always have your favorite shoes that you pitch in, but sometimes, you know, with the rain coming down the way it is, you want to make sure that, you know, you do have good traction out there. And a walk to Youkilis, second time that Slowey has walked Kevin Youkilis, and his 4th walk of the ballgame.
And now Ortiz at the plate with Maharis warming up. Ortiz struck out in the first and walked on 4 pitches in the third.
Yeah, we saw Martinez in the bottom of the 4th inning go out and talk to John Lackey, and he utilized that area right there to wipe off your spikes, and you can see that Kevin Slowey, a lot of mud on that.
I'm guessing, don't know of course, but I'm guessing we'll have some diamond dust put on the field here after this half inning is over. Here's Ortiz in a key spot. The Red Sox up by a run, and there are 2 men aboard. Ortiz, with the strikeout in the first inning, has now struck out in more than half his at-bats this year. And Slowey misses up and in, ball 1. I was talking with Ortiz today. Now here comes Rick Anderson to the mound. Talking with Ortiz today about his drive here the other day. He thought he hit it out to left center field, and it went off of Delman Young for a double. Here's the pitch up and in.
Well, I think what Anderson's going out to make sure, you saw Kevin Slowey kind of look down right there on where that left foot lands, and you want to make sure. See, I think he's going to ask for some diamond dust right now. And he's looking at Tim Cheadle.
Going to get some diamond dust, kitty litter type material that'll be used to secure the footing a little bit. You can visit the official online shop of the Twins at twinsbaseball.com. You can browse the largest selection of official gear, including the latest apparel, nostalgic memorabilia, authentic classics for the whole family. You can get your gear from the official source, the twinsbaseball.com shop, except no substitutes.
A lot of times, Dick, in games like this too, I would change spikes between innings because you can see Kevin Slowey, I mean, all that mud that is built up underneath those spikes. Every player has, you know, for a pitcher, I had about 6 or 7 shoes that I could, you know, use throughout a ball game if need be. But you always have your favorite spikes. But on rainy days like this, you know, back in the 70s, we wore those old Rydell shoes that had the leather soles. So when it rained, it became almost an added 5 pounds to your shoes trying to lift them. And now they have the very light shoes, whether, you know, whoever the maker is. But I would actually change shoes between innings because of the dampness that's created, also the mud created underneath those shoes.
Probably as many shoe companies as there are bat companies now. It's a player's choice whether they wear a Nike or some other model shoe. I suppose while they're treating the mound, they're also treating home plate. So while the game hasn't been suspended because of rain, they're just treating the field so we can continue. Fox Sports North supports the Pepsi Refresh Project. Pepsi's giving away millions in grants each month this year to fund great ideas. You can visit refresheverything.com and get the Idea Toolkit and learn how you can make a difference. And don't forget to vote on your favorite ideas as your vote decides which ideas get funded.
I don't know if this will be a trip to the mound, but Slowey's going to get a chance to kind of throw a couple pitches, make sure that his footing is okay.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. Rick Anderson first came to the mound and was on the mound for a little while before he asked for the diamond dust to be brought out. So we'll check Mark Wegner and see if he gives a signal whether it is a trip or not. You'd like to think it won't matter. There's 2 outs in the inning, and you'd like to hope that Slowey can get through this inning without any further damage done. Well, here you are.
Who's that young skinny kid? It doesn't look like it's raining there.
There you are, sticking that tongue out again.
I had some hitters that actually told me Well, you only stuck your tongue out on a curveball. I said, well, keep looking at my tongue then, because that fastball is going to come right your way.
And Slowey giving his approval. I think it sure looks like it's a lot drier out there than it was. And the rain has lightened up a little bit from when we stopped playing.
Yeah, actually, Slowey has thrown a lot of pitches, about 6 or 7, to make sure that that's okay. And Tim Cheetah right there with the finger up. Is that?
I think that means he's going to get one more toss. I don't know. And then we'll see if Mark Wegner, I bet you, is asking him right now whether that's a charged trip or not. And now we're waiting to see whether Wegner gives any indication or not. None given. Pat Neshek down in the bullpen as well. So 1-0 to Ortiz. It's a 1-run Boston lead, but a chance for Ortiz to do more damage here if Slowey can't get him out in the 5th.
I saw Rick Anderson also after all that. Rick Anderson looked at Kevin Slowey and said, hey, now concentrate. Don't worry so much about where you're landing. You still have to make good quality pitches right here.
Popped up left field, and on one pitch, it should end the inning.
Another good visit by pitching coach Rick Anderson.
Now, the longest visit he's made a Twins pitcher, at least at home. At Target Field, it's been raining for most of the last hour, but it looks to me as if the skies are clearing off to the south and the west. Along with Robbie and Smikowski, Ron Coomer, Burt Blyleven, we're here bringing you the second official game at this ballpark. Twins fell behind 2-0, tied it up. Red Sox back in front. Denard Span will lead off the 5th. Walks up the box and takes strike 1, showing bunt. Span's walked twice, scored once. High fly to center. Cameron over a couple of steps. Span's retired, 1 away. We're in the home stretch for the 2010 census, and it's not too late. Fill out and mail back your census form today. One gone. Here's Orlando Hudson. Drove in his first run as a Twin with a big 2-out hit in the 3rd. Mauer followed with another 2-out hit. And the Twins tied the game at 2. Strike 1. That's a cracked foul. 2 strikes. The odd man out when it's come go-to position player so far is Alexi Casilla. He hasn't gotten a start yet. The Twins have a veteran pair up the middle, Hardy and Hudson, who've been very, very solid defensively.
Casilla very important to Ron Gardenhire on that bench. Someone that can pinch run late in the ball game, play any position in the infield.
One and two to Orlando Hudson. Got a piece of it. You know, and Ron Gardenhire's talked about this with a four-man bench. In reality, you keep Tomey on the bench to pinch hit, but then if he gets on base, you very likely have to use Casilla to pinch run for him. So half your moves are really made in one move. So that's Casilla's role, or at least it has been so far this year. And Hudson spun away from the plate.
A good fastball right inside by John Lackey. Lackey making his 15th career start against the Twins, his first as a Boston Red Sox. 6 wins, 5 losses in those first 14 starts against the Twins. Very good, 3.75 ERA.
On the outside corner, and Lackey gets his first strikeout of the game.
Well, I'll tell you what, that previous pitch, that fastball in, you move that hitter, and then what do? Do you paint the outer half of the plate? You throw it a couple inches off. And we've seen Mark Wagner call that pitch from the first inning on. So Lackey hitting his spot, picking up a strikeout.
Here's Mauer. And Mauer takes strike one. Mauer with an infield hit, knocked down behind the second base bag by Scudero with 2 outs in the third. It scored Span, and the Twins tied the game at 2. And Lackey gets ahead of Mauer 0-2. Want to pass along birthday wishes to Rod McCormick, the Twins clubhouse manager, who has a birthday today. Probably will celebrate after what he hopes will be a Twins win. There's another ground ball behind the second base bag. Easy play for Scudero, and Lackey has his first 1-2-3 inning.
And Hot Rod, happy birthday.
Heating and cooling systems. I'm AccuWeather.com meteorologist Bernie Rayno. Final game of our 3-game series tomorrow at Target Field. Looks nice, partly sunny. First pitch temperature in the upper 60s. Temperatures during the game in the 70s.
Always thought with TC helping the grounds crew buddies replace a base, first base stuck in there a little bit. Always thought that Grant Balfour had a terrible name for a pitcher. And now we got this Bernie Rayno doing the weather. That's a bad name for a weather guy. Reno.
No rain. That's what we have right now here at the stadium. I see no rain, and Pat Neshek coming in. Here's Kevin Slowey worked the first 5 innings. 98 pitches for Kevin. Too many pitches in a short amount of time. Neshek making his 4th relief appearance. So far, so good. An inning and 2/3. No walks with a strikeout. Bullpen for the Twins have been outstanding.
And Neshek, who made an appearance on this mound in the exhibition series against the Cardinals and really had a tough time, hoping that he got that one out of his system. And will pitch effectively here against the Red Sox, starting with Adrian Beltre. There's strike 1. Beltre, Drew, and Cameron. Beltre's got a statistical quirk going in his first season with the Red Sox. Ground ball to short. Hardy waits. Now Beltre's 0 for 3, so it's still the case. We don't know exactly what the numbers are, but Beltre entered the game with a higher batting average than on base percentage. When you figure batting average, sacrifice bunts and flies don't count. But when you figure on base percentage, they do. Beltre entered the game with a .375 batting average and a .360 on base percentage. And that's weird. I've never known a player to have that. He hasn't drawn any walks. He hasn't been hit by a pitch. So the one sacrifice fly he's had this year has dropped his on base percentage below his batting average. 1 down, and here's Drew with a couple of quick strikes. Outside, 1-1. Drew with a walk and a run scored, and then he was called out on strikes in the 4th. And Neshek strikes out Drew with an 80-mile-per-hour breaking ball.
Yeah, nice frisbee right there, down and in on Drew. And Drew goes down for the 2nd time in a ball game. Slowey struck him out in his last at-bat. Much as frisbee-type slider for the 2nd out of the inning.
And now here's Cameron. A couple of strikeouts for Cameron. And he gets ahead of Cameron, strike 1. And Cameron with another look back at Mark Wegner. Well, Neshek will take strikeouts anytime he can get them, but when he can get a veteran left-handed hitter like J.D. Drew out, that should be a tremendous confidence boost for him. 2 strikes now to Cameron.
Neshek always fun to watch out on that mound. Does not stop moving. Looking at his spikes, that doesn't bother him.
Whoa! Neshek thought he got him, and instead it's 1-2. Pretty close pitch.
Again, going back to that breaking ball. Watch Neshek right here. That ball
just outside, according to Fox Tracks. And just missing the outside corner again. That time with a fastball.
Fox Tracks right here. Neshek working the outer half and just missing outside.
Fouls a spinner back to the screen. 2-2.
Neshek, of course, missing all of last year, having that Tommy John surgery.
And now 3-2 with Hermida on deck.
Well, you don't want to make a mistake inside late in the ball game. And Neshek, you can see the pitches, pretty much all outer half of the plate. Over.
And Neshek again thought he hit the corner, but it's outside and a walk. with 2 outs here in the 6th.
Well, we've been talking about Mark Wagner having that, pitch right there. That's a good pitch right there. But that time it's ball 4.
It's Fox Track business again. It's 3 permanently mounted cameras, and they're able to determine where the ball crossed or is in relation to the front part of the plate. And Mauer to the mound to encourage Neshek.
Also going over signs again. Mauer will use more than one sign. Just make sure what sign they're using. Even with a runner at first base.
The Fox Tracks accurate to within 1 inch. The speed calculations more accurate than a typical radar gun. And now Hermida takes inside a ball. Hermida with a bouncer to second and a liner to short. Bouncer to second. Easy play for Hudson. And a good inning for Pat Neshek in the 6th. Bottom of the inning coming up. The Twins down a run. Freeze cam.
Well, Delman Young right there in the first inning didn't know really what to do. Do I try to catch that ball or do I try to knock it down? The ball ended up going over his glove. The ball bounced high. That off the bat of Dustin Pedroia, the second hitter of the ball game.
The Frostbrew Coors Light Freeze cam. Twins down a run. Bottom of the 6th in the middle of the Twins lineup here. Morneau, Kadire, and Kubel to face John Lackey. Up and away, ball 1. Morneau with a single to right in the 2nd. A fly ball that sent Mike Cameron back to the warning track in center field. That came to wrap up the 3rd inning. 2-0. Lackey's pitch count more economical than Slowey's. This will be number 79 according to the target field counter. That one hits the outside corner, 2-1. Might be done with rain for a while. It is not raining right now, I don't believe.
All right, Justin, get hold of one.
3-1. Kadire on deck. Morneau lifts another one to center. Cameron hardly has to move. 1 down. Time for the Quest high-speed pitch, brought to you by Quest high-speed internet.
Well, both starters clocked as high as 92 miles an hour. For Kevin Slowey, just too many pitches in a short amount of time. 98 pitches in 5 innings. He gave up 3 runs, 4 walks, with 5 strikeouts. John Lackey, 5 1/3 innings so far.
Here comes Kadire with 1 out. And he takes up ball 1.
Lackey with 3 walks in the ball game, 1 strikeout.
You remember who the second guy was who walked on the moon?
Neil Armstrong.
He was the first guy.
Oh.
That's foul. The reason I bring it up is no one will remember who hit the second home run here at Target Field, but this would be a good spot for Kadire to do that.
Lackey right now at 84 pitches.
Meaning the second twin, Pedroia, hit one earlier today. This one a rifle to right center field. Drew backhands it. Kadire will be held to a single with Pedroia, or excuse me, Drew in right field, backhanding that ball in the gap.
Well, with the rain coming down, the grass is going to be a little wet, so you're going to get some skippage. And that's what it looked like that ball did right there. Kadire hitting it sharply. Got out to Drew very quickly. And Drew almost overran it. That ball skipping right there. And Drew getting it back in. So Kadire gets his first hit.
Technically, I think you're right. Here's Kubel. The guy who took the first step on the moon also took the second step. Right? Neil Armstrong. We'll see if Kubel can also be the twin who hit the second home run in their new ballpark. Up and away, 1-1. Two and 1. And Kubel draws his second, 3-1 the count. He drew a walk in the 4th and bounced into a double play in the 2nd.
Lackey already with 3 walks. He does a walk Kubel right here. See if he gets a pitch. And it's Kubel. Got a pitch. And a nice grab right there down the line.
He didn't even bother getting up. He just stayed right in his seat.
I don't think he had time to get up.
Very nice.
Kubel hitting it sharply. A nice grab.
3-2 to Kubel. And Kadire flops back to the bag.
See if they send Kadire here. He does have 1 stolen base on the year. Maybe get one of the middle infielders to move towards second base a little bit. Looks like Scudero would be the one that might move towards second. Kadire takes off. There he goes.
To center. And Cameron makes the catch out number 2. That'll bring up Delman Young. Young with a double in the 3rd, a leadoff double. He scored the Twins' first run, and then he grounded a single to left in the 4th. Trying to scrape the gunk off his cleats. He's playing catch up here this afternoon. Fell behind early, 2-0, tied it up. Now trailing by a run. Over the roof for the Twins dugout. 1 strike.
The Twins have out-hit the Boston Red Sox 6-5, but Pedroia put him ahead with his 4th home run of the year.
One strike. And he got jammed, and Martinez will make the catch in foul territory. A scoreless sixth, on to the seventh, and a one-run game. Game summary.
Well, the Twins found themselves down 2-0. Delvin Young with a leadoff double. That in the third inning when the Twins tied it. RBI single by Orlando Hudson. That made it a 2-1 ball game. Joe Mauer with the infield RBI single. And then Dustin Pedroia giving the Boston Red Sox a one-run lead with his fourth home run of the year. That coming in the fifth inning.
Rain coming down pretty good again, and Pedroia, or Scudero, I should say, leading things off in the seventh inning. He'll be followed by Pedroia and then Victor Martinez. Scudero with a single and a run scored in the first, an RBI single in the second. A big hit because there were two out at the time. Looked like Kevin Slowey was going to get out of a jam. And a fly ball to right field in the fifth. 2-0. That hits the corner, 2-1. Camper foul, 2-2. So far, so good for Neshek, and Twins will, of course, if they're going to be at or near the top of the division, they're going to rely on an effective bullpen. And Neshek, whose role in that bullpen, and when spring training started, no one knew, but it looks like he's going to be one of the keys.
Well, I think, this is his second inning. His first time this year he's had to pitch 2 innings. So hopefully he can get through this.
Kept the ball in the infield. He gets Scudero one away. Time for the Coors Light Cold Hard Blast delivered by Pedroia in the fifth.
Well, came in with 2 outs in the fifth inning. Pedroia, that's his fourth home run of the year. And that gave the Red Sox a 3-2 lead.
Yeah, Pedroia, who got an RBI double in the first, his double, the sinking liner that dropped in front of Delvin Young and then ran all the way to the wall. Continues to pick up extra base hits. And Neshek starts him with a strike.
Well, 5 hits for the Boston Red Sox have come off the bats of the first 3 hitters. Scudero with a couple hits, Pedroia with a couple hits, and Martinez with a base hit.
Foul back.
Pedroia, 2-time All-Star in 2008 and last year. 26 years old. This is his 5th season with the Red Sox.
2 quick strikes. Pedroia entered the game with a slugging percentage of .750, and he's picked up a double and a home run today. Twins are used to facing hitters that have very high slugging percentages, but of course it used to be Ortiz and Manny Ramirez, and before that Yastrzemski and Rice, guys like that. You don't expect the smallest guy on the team to be leading the team in slugging percentage.
He's built a lot like Chuck Knobloch.
Yeah.
About that same size. Fiery little player.
Oh.
Watch out.
Everybody's okay. Check swing. Sailing over the Twins on deck circle.
Pedroia just kind of reaching out and keeping the bat alive.
It's very similar to what happened late in spring training to Denard Span and his mother. Kind of a late awkward swing and a rocket that hit Denard's mother. Thankfully she was okay. And one heading back in our general direction.
Nice souvenir.
And you'll be able to keep that souvenir for a long time and know exactly when you got it, because the Twins are using special baseballs this year that have special stamping, marking the baseballs as being from the inaugural year. There's a pop-up near the Twins dugout. Mauer over for a look. And it's on the roof.
See, that's an out in Oakland right there. Going a long way to get that ball. That's what a foul ball does. Look at the big smile on his face, showing his buddies. Young man that caught the first home run here. I ended up giving that ball to the Twins organization. Got a nice Joe Mauer jersey. Got to meet Joe Mauer.
Not just getting a Joe Mauer jersey. I came down the elevator with the young man and his family from Iowa. He got a jersey that Joe wore last year when he and off the end of the bat. But imagine that. You know, here you had all these adults in right field and everybody fighting for the home run, and this 13-year-old kid sticks his glove up and plop right in his mitt. I mean, even as perfect as the day was, that particular part of it was perfect.
I found out that in batting practice, I think Jim Thome hit a ball out there, and he was there to catch it, and it dropped out of his glove.
That's why they call it batting practice. Practice for Thome and practice for A.J. Nitschke.
Let's take another look right here. This is what amazes me. Here's a 13-year-old young man that's able to catch this ball and watch where everybody just dogpiling. Hey, I have it. There it is.
Well, Pedroia having a long battle here with Neshek, has thrown 30 pitches in an inning and a third. And finally, Neshek succumbs to a slider, 2 down.
Neshek picking up his second strikeout in relief from Kevin Slowey. Well, Pedroia actually went out of, I think, his strike zone right here to try to just make contact with that ball, and he did, right into Joe Mauer's glove.
The Minnesota Twins have teamed up with the Minnesota State Parks and Trails to turn broken lumber into new trees. Every time this season a Twins pitcher breaks an opponent's bat, 100 new trees will be planted in Minnesota State Parks. Twins support the state parks, and you can too. Learn more at www.mnstateparks.info. 1 strike to Martinez. Martinez with a couple of ground balls to Hudson and a single. And now 0-2. Martinez checks his swing on the breaking pitch.
He tried to get Martinez like he was able to get J.D. Drew last inning. That breaking ball down and in. Becky Okajima warming up in the bullpen. John Lackey, 93 pitches in 6 innings.
It's hit a long way, but it's foul. 1-2.
They find it.
Somebody said years ago.
Nice. Very nice.
Baseball is the only game where someone will ruin a $400 suit to get a $5 baseball.
$5? Where are you buying your baseball?
This was a long time ago they said that. Fly ball right field, and Kadir drifting back. 2 good innings for Pat Neshek. A walk but no hits allowed, and the Twins are still down by a run. Fox Sports North is brought to you by McDonald's. I'm loving it. By Toyota. Thank you for standing by us. For more information, visit buyatoyota.com. And by Quest High-Speed Internet. Get blazing fast speeds that won't burn up your wallet.
Wow, that was terrible.
And I've heard you sing, and you
I say I'm terrible too, but that was also terrible. Well, good job by Pat Neshek.
Couple innings for Neshek, and now J.J. Hardy will lead off the 7th inning against John Lackey. Hardy, Punto, and Span due up. And there's a strike.
Well, you know, you watch John Lackey. It's a very smooth delivery. Again, 6'6", does a good job of getting to that balance point. And then the ball just comes flying out of his hand.
Even though the Red Sox had Okajima warmed up, he's still down in the pen. And if the Twins get men on base and Span is due up, certainly if Mauer is due up, we might see a pitching change within the inning. But Lackey, one of those guys, Roy Halladay was one in this league, still is with the Phillies. You know, he's a big guy. He's got a big physique and a big presence out there, and you expect him to go 7 innings every time.
Yeah, and that's why Boston gave him $82.5 million for 5 years.
Hardy strikes out. Martinez digs out the low pitch, and Hardy is retired on a strikeout to start the inning.
And Lackey picks up only his 2nd strikeout of the ballgame. He's averaged over 6 strikeouts per 9 innings in his career. He does have 3 walks now with a couple strikeouts.
Here's Punto, a pop to short and a fly to left. interesting quote from Jake Peavy, who's now pitching, of course, for the White Sox. And he said he's really disappointed he hasn't pitched 7 innings. He says he would rather pitch 7 innings than 6 shutout innings. In other words, that extra inning, when he approaches a start, he feels if he doesn't get at least 7 innings in, he hasn't done his job as a starting pitcher. I figured when I read that you'd appreciate that.
No, I don't.
You think it should be 9?
I appreciate it in a way,
right.
yeah, but your goal is to go 9.
But he said at least 7.
Right.
There's a ground ball up the middle, and that's off the glove of Scudero, who twice seems to have, I don't know if it's possible to overrun a ground ball, but in each case he reached down for a ball that seemed slow in getting to him.
Well, again, the ball, the grass is a little slick right here. The ball scoots through the infield, and I think Scudero thought maybe the only way to get the speedy Nick Punto was to try to get that ball spin and throw, and I think he tried to time it to where he could get up with that ball in his glove and then make a good throw over to Youkilis, but instead the ball got away. So Punto picks up his first hit, and for the Twins, they're 7.
Here's Span. A couple of walks and a fly ball.
No, Dick, I mean, that's what a pitcher wants to do. At least get 7 innings. That takes a lot of toll off of that bullpen. Kevin Slowey here, that means the bullpen has to pitch 4 innings today. Lackey, if he can get through this inning, and his pitch count is just over 100, he feels like, hey, I kept my club in a game, and I gave him 7 very good innings. So far, so good.
Keeping an eye on Punto, who of course runs well, and the Twins, who stole 3 bases here 2 days ago, haven't tried a stolen base yet. A chance here with Punto and his speed at first for the Twins to at least consider trying to steal on Lackey and Martinez.
Yeah, Punto 2 for 2 in stolen bases attempts so far this year. And Lackey, as a right-handed pitcher, doesn't have a very good move, but he'll try to utilize that slide step to keep Punto from maybe taking off too early.
And he knows by now he's got to throw Span strikes. Span stays in the strike zone very well, and now it's 2-0. And Span takes a strike. 2-1. If not a stolen base, maybe a hit and run here. So much focus on the catcher, and inappropriately so. You get a veteran pitcher like Lackey, if he does his job, uses a slide step, quick delivery to home, he can limit the running opportunities. Punto stays put, and Span takes outside on a close pitch. 3-1. Very close pitch.
Box tracks, take a look.
Yeah.
Outside. Now Martinez trying to bring that glove back just a little bit.
Twins got a couple of runs in the third. Haven't really threatened much since. Trying to do something with Punto's 1-out single here in the 7th. And Span draws a walk, and Punto will go to second on Span's 3rd walk of the ball game. First and second and Hudson to the plate. John Farrell to the mound. Reminder to get involved in the game. Let us know who you think has been the Arby's value player of the game today. Text the word value, that's spelled V-A-L-U-E for those of you who don't know, followed by a space and the player's name to short code 234234. The updated voting shows that Delman Young is leading the balloting.
Delman Young with a couple hits, a double, where he scored in the 3rd inning, and then a base hit in the 4th.
Hudson delivers here as he did back in the 3rd inning. He'll pick up some votes. Stay tuned to the postgame show for the final results. Hudson drove in the first Twins run with a 2-out single in the 3rd. He scored Delman Young back then.
Yeah, Lackey left a breaking ball up, and Delman Young slapped it into center field. Excuse me, Orlando Hudson.
Lackey tried to pick off Young back in the 3rd inning and hit him in the ribs. So the Twins have some speed on the bases here in the 7th. And Hudson lifts it to short left. And Hermida with the catch, and the runners retreat 2 down. And Terry Francona is going to make a change with Mauer due up. And he's going to bring the left-hander Okajima in with 2 on and 2 out. So Lackey goes 106 pitches and gets 2 outs in the 7th inning, and he'll yield to Okajima when we come back. Run in from the bullpen.
Hope he doesn't get tired. Or we hope he does get tired.
And Okajima comes in with the tying run at second, 2 out. Mauer at the plate. Mauer drove in the second Twins run, back in the 3rd.
Well, the numbers on Okajima making his 5th relief appearance. This is his 4th season with the Boston Red Sox, coming over from Japan. Okajima, 34 years old. Fastball, curveball, and a screwball.
Three innings, 4 hits, couple walks allowed, and Mauer with the tying run at second. 3 hits in the first game here at Target Field, 1 so far today. Overhand breaking ball, missing, ball 1. Mauer's faced Okajima 4 times in the regular season and gotten 1 hit. Probably of several chance meetings in spring training, since the 2 teams face each other so often. That gets away from Martinez, and the runners will move up. Nowhere close to the strike zone, but in and out of the glove of the catcher, with the sun brilliantly breaking through in the middle of this at bat.
That's a good sign right there. Somebody above wants Joe Mauer to get a hit right here. Do it in the sunshine.
It's going to be a pass ball, isn't it?
It's a pass ball, a ball that should have been caught right there by Martinez.
Now, though, first base is open, and Morneau hasn't had nearly any success at all against Okajima, so the Red Sox will go ahead and intentionally walk Mauer to fill the bases. Morneau is 1 for 8 against Okajima, but with 4 strikeouts. So they're loaded up for the Twins cleanup hitter. Beltre to the dugout to get some sunglasses now. And he's just returned to third base. Lackey's lead. A one-run in peril here with Okajima facing Morneau with the bases loaded. Outside, ball one. Now technically the Mauer walk an intentional walk, but he did fall behind him 2-0 and wasn't close to the strike zone. And we told you before, in 3 earlier innings this year, a couple of walks and 4 hits, so he's got some rough edges to work through.
He doesn't have an overpowering fastball. He relies on getting guys out more on the breaking ball and the screwball, but he needs to pitch ahead in the count.
Little pop-up. And who wants it? It's Beltre with a basket catch between the mound and home plate. And the Twins leave the bases full in the 7th. Fell 2-0 to Mauer. They intentionally walked him and went after Morneau and got him for a big third out.
Yeah, Justin, he got jammed right there a little bit and hit that ball in the infield. Okajima kind of stood there for a second where Martinez went out. It was Beltre, the third baseman, had come in a long way to get that final out. Well, good job by Pat Neshek. 2 shutout innings. Now it's up to Jesse Crane to keep the game at a 3-2 deficit for the Twins. Jesse making his 4th relief appearance. So far, so good. 3 1/3 innings. No walks, 4 strikeouts.
Twins entering the game tied with the Red Sox for first place. The Tigers for first place. Kansas City leading Detroit 6-3. And to give you some idea what Trey Hillman's been going through, he brought in Joaquin Soria to get out of a jam in the 8th inning because the Royal bullpen has really struggled. So the Royals will hope that Soria can pin it down for Kansas City as they now move into the 9th inning. Here's Youkilis to lead off the Boston 8th against Jesse Crane. Couple of walks and a strikeout for Youkilis on the day. And Crane drops a curve over the outside corner.
Unusual batting stance by Kevin Youkilis.
And Crane with a mid-90s fastball just off the plate. 1-1. This game fits in with almost all the games the Twins have played this year, where it's just been a pretty well played game within a run or two. Youkilis drives a base hit to left. But that's kind of what we've seen all year long, that the Twins have won 6 games is nice, but they've won low-scoring games, tightly well-pitched and well-defended games.
Yeah, the only game that kind of helped, their Twins won 10-1 was slowly starting a fourth game. Other than that, they've all been close ball games.
And in that game, the Twins got a couple of late 3-run homers that opened the game up. Leadoff single, and now here's Ortiz. Half swing, they'll appeal. No swing, ball one. Ortiz, a strikeout, a walk, and a fly ball to left. A fly ball to left, a big out for the Twins. The Red Sox had taken the lead, had a couple of men aboard. Youkilis was walked in front of Ortiz. And the Twins got him on a fly ball to left in the rain. Swing and a miss. So Ortiz hit the ball the other day here toward the gap in left center, and he thought it was out. It didn't go out. And Ortiz was feeling pretty bad about it, but I said, at least in this ballpark, we don't have a speaker hanging overhead. And you hit one 480 feet and get held to a single, as happened a couple of years ago at the Dome. Another check swing and ball two. Strikeouts in his last 15 at bats.
Trying to like a ground ball right here.
Came inside, and Ortiz chopped it foul. You've got to go after him with fastballs, don't you? I mean, the word is that he's just having a hard time getting around on a good fastball, and Crane has that.
Well, it's a big pitch right here because you don't want to go 3-2 on Ortiz. Trying to get him out right here.
With a curve, and they got him. Another strikeout for Ortiz, 2 down.
Well, and that's what happens. I mean, the hitter, you're told, hey, you're late on the fastball, and all of a sudden you look fastball, and then what's Jesse do? Drops the hammer on him. Ortiz swings through it for the first out.
Here's Adrian Beltre. Bouncer past a diving Punto and down the line. Youkilis to third. And he's going to be held with Beltre checking into second with a double. Red Sox put together a threat. Second and third, one away for J.D. Drew.
Well, jumping on that first fastball, Beltre with his second double of the year. See Punto playing off the line. He could not knock it down. Gets into that corner. Ricochets off the wall. Delman Young gets it back in. And the Red Sox with a rally here with a couple runners on in scoring position with one out.
350 doubles for Beltre in his career. Here's Drew, who has walked and scored and struck out twice.
Twins infield will probably come in here. And they're going to go ahead and intentionally walk J.D. Drew to load the bases.
And get a strikeout-prone Mike Cameron to the plate.
Believe it or not, Dick, this is something that you work on spring training, too. A lot of guys we've seen cannot do this. A lot of times, what Jesse's doing right here, just intentionally walk somebody. We've seen pitchers before throw that ball over the catcher's head or try to throw it back over the strike zone. Crane doing his job right there.
So the Red Sox used an intentional walk to load the bases in the bottom of the 7th and then got a big out. Here, Crane with an intentional walk in the top of the 8th, and he'll need to get 2 outs. Starting, perhaps ending, with Cameron. Cameron runs pretty well. Hasn't bounced into a double play yet this year, but the Twins infield will play for one here, at least up the middle. Corner infielders playing up a little bit. They may come home to force Youkilis. Foul back, a strike.
Well, what Crane has to think about right here is get a strikeout. Cameron is strikeout prone, like you mentioned. And he challenged him there with a fastball, and Cameron fouled it back.
Cameron's already struck out twice tonight. Today, excuse me. Up high, 1-1.
Jesse going after him with two good fastballs.
Over for strike two.
Good breaking ball right there. That's a slider. They've been able to get Cameron middle in on that strikeout, right about belt high.
Well, strikeouts have been swinging strikeouts.
Joe Mauer going out. And as a relief pitcher, you sit out in that bullpen and you try to watch the game, but you cannot really see from as far as they sit out there on maybe what Cameron did in his first two at bats. And this is where you rely on a guy like Joe Mauer. Maybe Jesse wanted to go back to another breaking ball, and Mauer say, "Hey, we've struck him out a couple times with that good fastball inside." See what they decide on right here. Mauer sat inside, and Cameron trying to quicken his bat up a little bit, fouled it straight back. So that's exactly what maybe Mauer went out and said. Still odd to see the pitchers able to go to their mouth on the mound and wipe off. I think you want everything hard here. You don't want the curveball right here. That allows Cameron to speed up his bat a little bit. Either a good fastball or a hard slider.
High fly to short left field. Delman Young setting up to tag is Youkilis, and he's not coming home. So a shallow fly ball, in this case as good as a strikeout, 2 down.
Well, he stayed with the fastball, and Cameron got underneath it. And Youkilis could only fake to maybe run home, where Delman Young does the right thing. He hits the cutoff man, that being Justin Morneau coming over from first base. So you set yourself up to make a good throw. Delman ready, and he hits the cutoff man.
Now the infielders can play a little bit more at normal depth. Morneau was playing in front of the runner Drew at first base for a forced play at home, but now 2 gone, and here's Hermida. Mid-90s fastball for strike 1. Crane trying to keep it a 1-run game. Very high, 1-1. Bottom of the 9th at Comerica Park. The Tigers have had a couple of big comebacks already this year, but the Royals go into the bottom of the 9th leading 7-3. One and one. 2-1. Big pitch here for Jesse Crain and the Twins. And Mauer got the sign from Crain that he wanted to go through the signs again, and we'll go to the mound and talk it over instead.
Everybody talks about Joe Mauer's offense, winning 3 batting titles already, but he takes just as much pride into calling a great game than he does getting 3 hits in a ball game.
Well, you were there with me at the press conference when Joe signed his contract, and somebody asked him whether he thought he'd be catching by the end of the contract. He says, I love to catch. Loves to hit, but he loves to catch too. 2-1, Crain to Hermida. That's to left center field. And Span can't get it. It'll empty the bases. Hermida will drive in 3 with a double. And the Red Sox break the game open. The number 9 hitter comes through with a big 3-run double.
Hermida came into the ball game hitting .400 with a home run and 3 RBI, and he doubled that in one swing as far as the RBIs. The ball down. Joe wanted it outer half of the plate. Hermida splitting the gap right there. Good effort by Span. He comes up short. With the ball hitting and rolling to the wall. And Ron Gardenhire's coming out, and there'll be a pitching change.
A 3 spot for the Red Sox so far in the 8th. All free the Our Family section, courtesy of the Our Family brand. This week when the Royals and Indians come to town, you can get tickets in the Our Family section for just $22, and that includes a Schweigert's hot dog and Pepsi. Log on to twinsbaseball.com or call 800-33-TWINS to get your tickets. And the weather that we've had here today is supposed to clear out. The weather is supposed to be just spectacular for the balance of this homestand. Hermida with a bases clearing double when it looked like the Twins might be able to get out of the 8th inning. Instead, a big 3-run double, and now Alex Burnett making his second Major League appearance.
Yeah, he made his Major League debut in Anaheim in Game 4, and he worked the 9th inning, a 1-2-3 9th inning with a strikeout. So making his debut here at Target Field.
Royals beat the Tigers 7-3, so with the Red Sox opening up this game for the time being at 6-2. Strike 1 to Scutaro. At the very least won't fall a game behind the Tigers. Scutaro, a pair of hits, a run scored, an RBI. One and one.
Alex Burnett, just 22 years old.
1-2.
What we saw from Burnett in Anaheim, good fastball, mid-90s, sharp slider, curveball, and a changeup. This is his 6th year in the Twins organization, signed by the Twins back in 2005.
And he struck out Scooterone in the inning. But in the inning, a couple of doubles, including a big 3-run double for Jeremy Hermida.
Twins trail 6-2 as we're in the bottom of the 8th inning on an afternoon game here at Target Field for the first time. I'm Robbie Smikowski. We have a good ball game, hopefully a good finish for the Twins, but I know we have a great postgame show. It's Quest Twins Live featuring the Toyota postgame wrap. We'll discuss Pedroia's power. He has, as it stands right now, as the game-winning run. That was a home run that came in the 5th inning, his 4th of the season. We'll talk about Pat Neshek and his pitching. He had 2 great innings, surrendering just 1 walk while striking out 2. And we'll also bring you post-game reaction from manager Ron Gardenhire. All that and a lot more for a half hour on Quest Twins Live. Dick?
Thanks, Robbie. Twins with a 4-run deficit now will send up Michael Kanire to lead off the 8th against hard-throwing right-hander Daniel Bard.
Yeah, Bard last year had a very good year out of that bullpen for the Boston Red Sox. 49 in the 3rd innings. He struck out 63.
Strike 1 to Kanire.
Bard with a good fastball in the upper 90s, curveball, sharp slider, and a circle changeup, making his 6th relief appearance. Boston playing their 8th ball game of the year.
And Kanire drives it to deep left field. Gone!
We talked about his fastball that's clocked in the upper 90s. He hung a breaking ball right there, and Kanire way out front, but strong enough to get him out of the ballpark. His first home run of the year. And it's a 6-3 Boston lead.
And Kubel drives it into the right field corner. Caught on the track by J.D. Drew. So on back-to-back pitches, the Twins might have delivered their 2 best swings against the Red Sox today. And that'll bring up Delman Young.
Oh, good swing right here by Kubel. He gave it a ride, but J.D. Drew made a nice running catch.
Young takes a fastball inside. Young with a pair of hits. Double and a run scored in the 3rd, another single in the 3rd. Double and the run scored in the 3rd, and I should say the single coming in the 4th. to the right field corner and deep. Hard off the wall. Young digs for second. And he's in with a double. So 3 swings against Bard, and the Twins have their 3 hardest hit balls of the game.
Oh, good hard fastball, but a pretty straight fastball at that. Yelman Young getting a fastball and just hitting it the other way. Good day at the plate, his second double. Drew getting his work in. Lays the carom off the wall, gets it back in as quick as he can, but Yelman slides in second safe. Yelman picks up his 3rd hit of the ballgame.
And now J.J. Hardy.
I get Hardy on right here because Jim Thome is on the on-deck circle.
Fastball inside. Ball 1. Mr. Thome. The on-deck circle. And a dribbler to third. Beltre fires to Youkilich, 2 down. And Thome will come up with Young at second and 2 away. And Thome's first official Target Field plate appearance. Nearly tied the game in Chicago on Sunday. Nearly hit a home run to put the Twins in front in the series finale in Chicago. Punto had gone 1 for 3. Over the roof for the Twins dugout, 1 strike. The Twins pinch hitter Thome. And a high 98-mile-per-hour fastball, and Thome fouled it straight back.
You know, one thing here at Target Field, what both sides have is that batting cage inside. So even though Jim Thome, you know, here it is the 8th inning, I'm sure he's been taking some swings down there. And it's also on the visitor side. Somebody that might be sitting for a while could go in and get some swings. Let's go, Thome.
2 strikes to Thome. One and 2. Thome was down to his last strike against Bobby Jenks and hit that screamer against the fence in left center.
Bart going inside, trying to go up. You see where Martinez wanted the ball.
One and 2. Curve missing, and it's 2 and 2.
Yeah, you want to try to drop that curveball right on the other side of home plate. That's 2 curveballs that Bart has thrown. One went out, and the other one right there just left it up. Bart making sure the count is 2 and 2.
Little pop-up behind second base. Actually in front of the bag now. Scudero with the catch. And Thome is retired. The Twins are done, but the inning starts with Kanayer's first home run of the year.
go. This is where we start the World Series story.
Michael Kadire cranking one out to left, but it was no longer a one-run game when he did it. The big three-run double right now is the difference in the game. And Dustin Pedroia will face Alex Burnett here, leading off the Boston ninth inning. Down low, ball one. I mentioned, I think, the other day when Burnett came in against the Angels, Brendan Harrison at third base for the Twins, that the Twins internally discussed Burnett last year when they were trying to find any righty lefty that could help patch some holes in the rotation in the bullpen. Burnett really emerged as a pitching prospect. Here's the check swing that's called a strike by Tim Cheetah. So Burnett was considered an option last year to help out down the stretch. 1-2.
Twins like his arm. And last year he started the season in Fort Myers, single A affiliate for the Twins. Moved up to New Britain, double A. Combined 3-3, but an ERA under 2 in 58 appearances, all in relief.
2-1 the count, and now 2-2.
Burnett signed out of Ocean View High School in Huntington Beach, California, back in 2005 by the Twins.
Two and two to the Boston leadoff man here in the ninth. Victor Martinez on deck. Full count. It's a hat Apollo Creed wore in the first Rocky movie there on the left. Pulled foul. Boston's only trip here to Minnesota. The Twins go to Boston next month for a couple of games, and then we'll be done with the Red Sox perhaps until October. We'll face them in the playoffs. Terry Francona hopes the Red Sox will get there. Ron Gardner hopes the Twins will be there again. And Burnett strikes out the former league MVP, and he's faced two men here today and fanned them both.
Yeah, went middle in right there and just challenged Pedroia. Pedroia swinging through the fastball. Good movement on that fastball. Rode in on Pedroia.
So you were talking about Bard and how he's got a hard fastball, but a straight one. Burnett looks like it's really got some life to it. Here's Victor Martinez. Ball one. Two and oh. Rain a bit of a factor earlier today. It never officially stopped play, but it was delayed for several moments while they tended to the mound in the home plate area, putting on some diamond dust. Martinez lines one to right field. Crane or Kadire coming to first, and they just about got Martinez at first base.
Hey, you don't hustle out of the box. You expect to get a base hit, and Kadire right there saying, hey, nothing's for granted. This is the old high school play right here. Martinez getting the base hit. Kadire noticing that he's not hustling down that line, and it's a close play at first. Martinez has to slide into first. Wow, you don't see that too often.
Here's Youkilis. And a breaking ball over for a strike. Youkilis with a leadoff single in the eighth against Jesse Crane, and by innings end, the Red Sox had put 3 runs up, all 3 charged to Jesse Crane. Another strike, 0-2. Third. Burnett on the team because Clay Condrey is not, although Condrey was here for the introductions the other day on the disabled list. Jonathan Papelbon warming up. Papelbon would inherit a save situation if the Red Sox don't score here in the top of the inning.
Yeah, Condrey on the Twins disabled list with that right shoulder strain.
Fly ball to center, and Span drifts back. Out number 2. Jimmy John's delivery of the game, the difference in the game, the 2-out double by Jeremy Hermida.
Yeah, Hermida got a fastball down and hit that gap with bases loaded, and all 3 runs scored. Red Sox took a 6-2 lead. Dyer hitting a solo home run makes it a 6-3 ball game.
Here's Ortiz, 0 for 3, a walk, 2 strikeouts. Foul ball. David is a good guy. We enjoyed him immensely when he was here with the Twins. But he would not be the first slugger to have it come to an abrupt end in terms of being a productive player at this level. He's still young. It would be a premature end. But players of his type tend to have their careers fade faster than singles hitter. Now Mauer has just taken his second foul ball here this inning.
Well, we just saw Andrew Jones with the Chicago White Sox. Those great years he had in Atlanta, just his career kind of faltered.
Mauer giving his nod. Yeah, I'm ready to go. So 2 strikes quickly to Ortiz.
317 career home runs Ortiz has.
And then he lifts it foul and out of play.
Came into this year a career .282 hitter. 6 seasons with the Twins from '97 to 2002.
Mr. LaPanta looking on from the deep left field corner. Getting ready, psyching himself up, if you will, for the postgame show.
Now working with Ron Coomer.
Up high. 1 and 2. See, if I had to work with Coom in a postgame show, I'd probably go to a really dark room and light a candle and just stare at it for a while. Meditate, you know?
See if they go back to that good hard breaking ball down and in. Bauer going through some signs. Alex Burnett wanting a certain pitch.
And Ortiz lashes one toward the corner, and Young gets there. The throw coming to second base, and Ortiz is in with a double. Second double of the series for Ortiz, and he says Martinez scampering to third.
I think they tried to go back down and in with that curveball, but it was left up out over the plate, and David Ortiz just took it the other way. See Mauer sitting inside, and the ball left out over the plate, and David Ortiz, because of Fenway Park, because of that green monster out left, he has that inside-out swing down to a perfection. We'd like to see more of those to get that batting average up.
Rick Anderson to the mound to talk to Burnett. The Twins trying to stay in this game here, down by 3 runs, and Beltre up with 2 on, in scoring position with 2 out. Whitener breaks up the meeting on the mound. Beltre with a double down the left field line his last time up.
Yeah, he jumped on that first fastball from Jesse Crain. Beltre, a good fastball hitter. He's up there ready to swing.
Missing inside a ball. Red Sox with 1 home run, but some big doubles here, particularly late in the game. It was a first inning double that scored the first run. A couple of doubles and 3 runs in the 8th, and a roller to Harris ends the inning. So Burnett pitches another scoreless inning. We'll see if the Twins can mount a threat against Papelbon in the 9th. Twins played with the lead the whole game, and the Red Sox have just about done that here today in the Toyota game reset.
Vermita right there hit the 3-run double, that coming in the top of the 8th inning. That gave the Red Sox a 6-2 lead. Kadire hitting a solo home run. And for the Red Sox, it was Pedroia hitting a home run, his 4th of the year in the 5th inning. Well, the numbers on Jonathan Papelbon. His 4th relief appearance. A save situation for Papelbon. 2 for 2 so far in those save opportunities.
And it'll be Denard Span leading off the 9th against Papelbon. The Twins obviously need a couple of base runners and somebody in the middle of the lineup hitting a big home run or delivering a big hit.
Well, Papelbon, 151 saves over the last 4 years for the Boston Red Sox. 38 last year. Career high 41 in 2008.
Span has reached 3 times with 3 walks, bringing his total walks now up to 8 to lead the team. Outside, ball 1. Span, Hudson, and Mauer. And the Twins hope to send a few more up to the plate here in the bottom of the 9th. Two and 0. Papelbon with some struggles in the series against the Yankees. 3-0. Knowing the Twins need base runners, Span certainly will be taking here. Three and one. Derek Barton of the A's leading the league coming into play today with 11 walks. Nick Markakis has 10. Span trying to draw his 4th walk of this ball game. Three and two.
Not a bad take right there. Like you mentioned, Twins need base runners. Make Papelbon throw a strike. Look of Papelbon as he looks in for the sign from Victor Martinez.
And Span taking all the way a 6-pitch walk. And the leadoff man is on here in the ninth.
4th walk of the ball game for Span.
And now Hudson. Hudson with an RBI single, his first RBI for the Twins, coming back in the 3rd inning. The rally cap is on. Twins need another base runner and then have the middle of the lineup be productive. Strike one to Hudson.
Hudson 0 for 2 lifetime against Jonathan Papelbon.
Span goes to second, and there's a fly to left field, and Hermida makes the catch. And Span has to sprint back to the bag. A little dying Quail into left, but enough life in the Quail to carry out to Hermida.
Well, you're not going to play Hudson very deep anyway because he doesn't have a lot of power. So Hermida playing about halfway and is able to catch that. Spans is trying to get to second base, stay out of the double play situation.
Mauer 1 for 4 lifetime against Papelbon. Morneau 1 for 6 against Papelbon, but in each case the hit was a home run. Up and away, ball one. Span took off on the last pitch to Hudson and likely will take off here with Youkilis playing well behind him at first. There goes Span, and Mauer takes a strike. And now Martinez will go to the mound and get a signal straight with Papelbon.
Yeah, no stolen base right there for Span.
Papelbon with a 1-1 count to Mauer. Two and one in Span, and now Mauer. Papelbon has to face probably the two most patient hitters the Twins have. He's got to throw strikes, and he didn't throw enough of them to Span. Span never swung the bat, ended up walking on the 6th pitch, and now Mauer has taken 3 straight pitches. Swinging here to even the count.
Well, a good swing right there, just getting underneath that fastball. It clocked at 95 miles an hour. Two and two to the Twins catcher.
Lace to left. Hermida makes the catch for out number 2. Mowers hit so many home runs in that direction when it left home plate. Thought that ball might have gone a little bit deeper than it did, 2 away.
Well, Papelbon fell behind. He stays with that fastball. He's got that 3-run lead. And right there, missing low. And then Joe Mauer swinging strike. And then the fly out to left field.
Here's Morneau trying to keep the game alive with Span at second and 2 down. Kadire, the on-deck hitter, hoping for a chance with the Twins down by 3. And Span will go to third on a wild pitch by Papelbon.
That looked like the split finger right there that landed in front of Martinez.
Down low, 2-0. 15 pitches for Papelbon, only 7 strikes. A walk would bring the tying run to the plate.
Justin will be taking right here.
And a 4-pitch walk. And Kadire homered on a breaking pitch in his last at bat. Comes up with a chance to tie it up.
And John Farrell, the pitching coach, coming out. Kadire getting a breaking ball. This from Daniel Bard. His first home run here at Target Field. His first home run in 2010. That made the score 6-3.
So the Twins have taken 2 walks. They put 2 balls in play. And Kadire, it hits his last 2 times up. Single in the 6th, the home run in the 8th.
Well, you can see against Papelbon, 3 strikeouts at 5 at-bats. So he's due for a hit.
First and third, 2 away. Morneau to second base. Red Sox don't care, and ball 1. Another defensive indifference.
Kadire looking to square up on maybe a fastball from Papelbon.
Ball on the outside corner and keep the game alive for Kubel, who is the one guy who's had some success against Papelbon. Kubel in the on-deck circle.
Kubel 3 for 7 against Papelbon.
1-1. Fly ball, right field. And J.D. Drew has it measured. And the Red Sox even the series at a game apiece. Papelbon wobbles his way through the save with a couple of walks. And in our post-game show, we'll have plenty of coverage from the locker room. We'll hear Ron Gardenhire. We'll hear from Dustin Pedroia. Pat Neshek with a good outing for the Twins in their 3-run loss, 6-3 to the Red Sox this afternoon.